after a botched robbery. 5 people are detained for questioning. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies in Chicago, and it could be a slippery start to the day. On AM 560, The Answer, it's 5:02. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Drivers should use a little caution while on the roads this morning as the National Weather Service is calling for freezing rain and snow to fall across parts of the region. Slippery road conditions could impact the morning commute around 6 or 7 a.m. No one is in custody following a deadly stabbing. Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. Authorities say a man was fighting with a woman early this morning in the hallway of an apartment building near 77th and Essex when the woman stabbed him in the chest. Investigators believe that incident is domestic related. A pregnant woman is in critical condition after being shot in the head in Round Lake. Authorities say the shooting happened yesterday at a home in the 600 block of West Nippersink Road. One person of interest was taken into custody. The incident led to a soft lockdown at nearby schools. It is the news that 21-year-old Daniel Baker's family never wanted to hear. Pentagon yesterday ending its search for Baker and 4 other Marines, declaring them all dead after a plane crash in the Sea of Japan last week. Baker is from Tremont in Peoria County. His family says he loved them, loved his country, and loved the Lord. Funeral arrangements are pending. Mayor Emanuel is calling for a 20 to 30 cents a gallon increase in the state's gas tax.
Costs have gone up, usage has gone up, and the resources to invest have stayed stagnant. That's unsustainable.
Speaking yesterday at City Hall alongside a small group of suburban mayors, Emanuel argued that extra funding is needed to pay for a much-needed mass transit and road improvements around the state. He argued that 24 states have raised their gas tax since 2012. Illinois, he says, hasn't had an increase since 1990, but Illinois already has one of the highest gas taxes in the nation. Plus, you pay a hidden 6.25% sales tax on gas at the pump, adding about 20 cents a gallon to what you pay. Meantime, candidates running to replace the lame duck Chicago mayor getting a chance to share their views with voters. Nearly a dozen took part in 2 different forums last night, one at the UIC Pavilion, the other at the Copernicus Center on the north side. Former Evanston police detective is accused of joining the U.S. DEA so he could protect a dangerous Puerto Rico-based drug gang. Fernando Gomez was arrested yesterday morning at the DEA's Chicago field office and charged with racketeering conspiracy. Gomez began working with the gang over a decade ago when he was a detective for Evanston police. He would obtain firearms from drug dealers and provide them to the gang leader in Puerto Rico. A student at a suburban Chicago junior high school has been arrested after allegedly posting online in a chat room that he threatened to shoot up a school. DuPage County State's Attorney's Office and the Naperville Police Department announcing the male student at Washington Junior High appeared in court yesterday and then was released to his parents for home detention. Chicago Heights Park District Police Chief is looking for a new job. Christian Dagry fired. He's facing charges of secretly filming his sexual encounters with 2 women and sharing intimate photos of them without permission. 3 men have been arrested on felony drug charges after police seized nearly $1 million worth of marijuana during raids of a condo in Chicago and a home in Berwyn. Brothers Ruben and Sergio Estrada and another man, Saul Garcia, were taken into custody, appearing in court yesterday. The attorney who represents the Estrada brothers says they were simply present at the home in Berwyn when the marijuana was delivered. 3 members of an Illinois militia group accused of bombing a Minnesota mosque will have their federal cases consolidated for trial in Minnesota. Michael Hari, Michael McWhorter, and Joe Morris are also charged with federal crimes in Illinois, including attempted bombing of an abortion clinic. Unionized flight attendants are set to picket at O'Hare tomorrow. The demonstration is being held to protest looming staff cuts by United. It's one of over a dozen across the globe planned by the Association of Flight Attendants. About 2,000 United flight attendants are based here in Chicago. Chicago sports, Kyle Connor scored twice. Jets double up the Blackhawks, 6-3 in Winnipeg. Blackhawk winger Patrick Kane says it was a disappointing game from the beginning.
Pretty good on their power play tonight. I think they might have had 3 on the power play tonight. So it's a good power play. If you take penalties, they're going to capitalize more often than not. And yeah, I mean, we didn't have a shot for like the first, 15, 16 minutes, maybe even more. So pretty embarrassing start. Blackhawks
lost their 8th straight. Bulls are in Mexico City tomorrow to take on the Magic as part of the NBA Global Games initiative. White Sox adding a right-hander to the starting rotation. Team acquiring Ivan Nova from the Pirates yesterday at the winter meetings. Cubs lose bench coach Brandon Hyde, hired apparently as the new manager of the Orioles. First place Bears preparing to play the rival Packers Sunday at Soldier Field. Now the numbers are in the Bears' favor. They can clinch the NFC North with a win over Green Bay. But since the Vikings lost Monday night, a Vikings loss to the Dolphins will give the Bears the NFC North. Bryce Callahan could be out of the Bears lineup for about 6 weeks. The slot cornerback broke a bone in his left foot. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. From now through December, Napa is having its biggest holiday sale, with hundreds of items at their best prices of the year. Items like a Bluetooth speaker with an LED light system for only $29.99. Only available at Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how while supplies last. 5:08 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, how would you like to have your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year? Would that qualify as a Christmas miracle? Yeah, well, it could happen if you enter and win our Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, running now through December 20th. But you can only win if you enter. And to do that, go to 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword miracle. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword miracle, to enter for a chance to have your mortgage or rent paid for all of 2019.
I'm Amy Errett, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. It's very meaningful to me when I hear customers talk about how Madison Reed at-home hair color has changed their lives. Here's Vicky, one of our very first customers.
Coloring my own hair is easier than I ever imagined. The best part, I no longer have to sit in a salon and pay over $100 to have this done. Now I color it when it's convenient for me, and it takes less than an hour. People compliment me on how great my color is, and my hair is incredibly soft and healthy looking.
Experience beautiful, multi-dimensional, ammonia-free, salon-quality color for under $25. Join the hundreds of thousands of women who have tried and loved Madison Reed. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code YES123. That's code YES123. Try it. Love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
Are you looking for the perfect gift? I hope you'll check out Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. I love these guys. Mike Gallagher here at Roland's. Not only do they care about making America great again, they also care about making your holiday moments memorable. You know, buying jewelry is about trust. Roland's is the go-to place. You're going to see why when you visit RolandsJewelers.com or head to downtown Libertyville to work with them in person. It's no hassle. They'll show you pieces from the top designers, Simon G. with beautiful pendants. The Hearts on Fire diamond earrings are a great choice. Italian designer Roberto Coin's collection is gorgeous. Ken over at Roland's is offering up to $500 for AM 560 The Answer listeners. Not just for jewelry, but luxury timepieces, like the watch I wear from Roland's, Shinola, or Longines, or Tag Heuer. Your choice. Roland's Jewelers makes your gift-giving easy. RolandsJewelers.com. Let them help you in-store in downtown Libertyville. Roland's Jewelers is a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
There's still a chance to give the gift of a Peloton bike. When you order the bike by 12/20, you get a free welcome gift, so you'll still have Peloton under the tree this holiday. See onepeloton.com. That's onepeloton.com, or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oak Brook Center, and Westfield Old Orchard.
5:11. Let's get an update on the roads, and we do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On Chicago's southwest side, the intersection of Archer and California is closed due to a crash. In Des Plaines, there's heavy traffic on Central Road, Des Plaines, River Road, Wolf, and between River Road from Gulf to Kensington. Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. There's heavy traffic around the shrine in that area, vehicles and pedestrians. Kennedy inbound, ramp closures, Canfield and Harlem. This work should be lifting shortly. Right now, we're not seeing significant delays on the Kennedy. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A bit of snow and rain at times this morning, maybe some freezing drizzle too. Little or no accumulation, otherwise clouds today, high 38. Cloudy for tonight and a low at 26. Clouds again tomorrow and a daytime high of 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Right now, 34 at O'Hare, 34 along the lakefront, 35 Midway. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage, including an earthquake in Georgia and Tennessee this morning. Coming up in moments, Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by CharlesEquipment.com, keeping you powered up no matter what the conditions.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And what is a simple question here? What is the one question or point you would like President Trump to make to Pelosi and Pagliacci on the next episode of Crossfire? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Their little perfunctory presser where they sit around and pretend to be congenial and fast friends. Well, that sort of broke apart as Trump started talking about the wall and his emphasis that that wall will be built.
And then we have the easy one, the wall. That'll be the one that will be the easiest of all. What do you think, Chuck? Maybe not?
It's called funding the government, Mr. President.
So we're going to see. But I will tell you the wall will get built. We'll see what happens. It is not an easy situation because the Democrats have a different view, I think, than I can say the Republicans. We have great Republican support. We don't have Democrat support. But we're going to talk about that now. We're going to see. One thing that I do have to say is tremendous amounts of wall have already been built. And a lot of wall, when you include the renovation of existing fences and walls, we've renovated a tremendous amount, and we've done a lot of work. In San Diego, we're building new walls right now, and we've right next to San Diego, we've completed a major section of wall, and it's really worked well. So a lot of wall has been built. We don't talk about that, but we might as well start because it's being built right now, big sections of wall. And we will continue that, and one way or the other, it's going to get built.
And then
that was pretty nice.
Yeah, and then he provided some data on the effectiveness of walls the world over, both on our border in Israel.
Yeah, how's your wall?
And so that to sort of make the point. Yeah. And then he said, "Well, Nancy, would you like to contribute something to the conversation?"
Nancy, would you like to say something?
Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way
of course.
To meet the needs of the American people. I think the American people recognize that we must keep government open, that a shutdown is not worth anything, and that you should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House.
Trump shutdown. Triggered him.
White House. You have the Senate. You have the House of Representatives. You have
gone down.
You should pass it.
No, we don't have the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate we need 60 votes.
No, but in the House,
and we don't have.
You could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but
today.
I can't. Excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste time.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House we could get passed very easily,
okay,
and we do.
But
the problem is the Senate because we need 10 Democrats to vote, and they won't vote.
That's not the point, Mr. President. The point is that there are equities to be weighed, and we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the president.
No, don't debate in front of us.
I mean, she said, I think that they were thrown off guard, Schumer and Pelosi. They did not think when they got to the office for this private meeting that, lo and behold, all these cameras are here. And look what happened.
Well, she didn't think that it was going to be litigated in front of the press. They do the pro forma statements, then go behind closed doors and rip each other apart.
And she said twice, why don't we have a discussion? Then we could talk to the media. And then it got, a little ugly.
We have solutions that will pass the House and Senate right now and will not shut down the government, and that's what we're urging you to do. Not threaten to shut down the government because let me just finish, because you can't get your way.
The last time you shut it down,
let me say something, Mr. President. You just say my way or we'll shut down the government. We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support to do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It is very good border security.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It's what the
Because when you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing with our military...
You just said it is effective.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said
Without
it's effective.
Without a wall, these are only areas where you have the walls.
We want to do
Where
this.
you have walls, Chuck, it's effective. Where you don't have walls, it is not effective.
Yeah.
Oh, then let's call a halt to this. This isn't going how I had originally planned.
My kids were like, who are all these old people yelling at each other?
They don't know who the president of the United States
They know who
is.
the president of the United States is, and they know who. But they were just, like, why are they all?
Why not? I'm glad it takes place in public. I mean, and I'm glad it wasn't orchestrated like the bipartisan roundtable discussion for the press on immigration. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So that was done in front of the press, and that was somewhat of a frank conversation, but it was all pre-prepared. And, which is a bit redundant, but okay, it was all prepared. And so this was more spontaneous, and you could tell because Trump was getting under Schumer's skin, and Schumer was getting under Trump's skin, and Trump was getting under Pelosi's skin. And you know what? Hash it out. I'd like to see this because going back to the question I posed, here's a simple question, and I hope the president asks the next time they do this. Why are you against building the wall? You say, Pelosi and Pagliacci, that you're for border security. So why can't $5 billion for the wall, where it is appropriate, be a part of that? I don't understand.
And they went from 1.6, now they're at 1.3.
Doesn't matter. Whatever the number is.
It's so small compared to
right.
our national debt. It's a joke.
And so the point is, and then you say, well, because it's not effective. Well, it is effective. There's plenty of evidence to demonstrate it's effective both on our border. Go talk to the Vatican. Go talk to the Israelis. But let's say it's not effective. Let's say Pelosi and Pagliacci, you're right. It's not effective. So you're telling me you won't provide funding for this wall because you're afraid to fritter away $5 billion on the high end? $5 billion? You do that every quarter hour.
Right.
Your entire life.
They're just afraid if they voted for it that they'd lose their constituents. Because
right.
their constituents are minorities and some people who are here illegally.
They're afraid to give Trump a symbolic victory.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to deal him a symbolic defeat. So all of this business about what's in the interest of the American people and government shutdown, which of course is a misnomer. How many times do we have to go through this so people understand that's a total misnomer? Right. But it needs to be laid bare for the American public. This has nothing to do with border security, and it has nothing to do with the security of American families. Because you know what? Roll the dice with me, Pelosi and Pagliacci. Let's roll the dice and see if building the rest of the wall in the places where it is appropriate would have the same effect as the wall where it exists today and in the world over. On the Mexican-Honduran border, too, oh, by the way. But let's just give me a shot, and let's see if we're right.
And things got uncomfortable for the old lady.
This has spiraled downward when we came at a place to say, how do we meet the needs of American people who have needs? The economy has, people are losing their jobs, the market's in a mood. Our members are already
Well, we have the lowest unemployment that we've had in 50 years.
60 people of the Republican Party are losing their offices now because of the transition. People are not, the morale
And we've gained
is
in the
not
Senate.
up.
Nancy, we've gained in the Senate. Excuse me, did we win the Senate? We won the Senate.
When the president brags that he won North Dakota and Indiana, he's in real trouble.
When I
did.
Let me say this.
We did win
Let me say this.
North Dakota
This
and
is the
Indiana.
most unfortunate.
When you lose when you lose incumbents, you're in real trouble, aren't you, Pagliacci? By the way, I think I said Mexican Guatemalan border
Oh, yeah.
there. he mentioned Israel.
So he did mention, and it was that point that came across to me like, oh yeah, you're right.
Roll the dice with me. I think the American people are willing to let us roll the dice with $5 billion out of a $4 trillion annual budget to see if a wall, in addition to personnel and technology, enhances our border security. Let's take a shot.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Tony in Plainfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks for taking my call, Dan and Amy. Dan, you're absolutely right. It's political, has nothing to do with the security of our nation or budgeting or shutting down the government. It's totally political. And I would hope at some point Trump could bring up the fact that the primary responsibility, or one of the primary responsibilities of the federal government, is to protect its people, and border security is primary for that. So everything else should be looked through vis-a-vis that lens.
Thanks for the call, Tony. Vince in Waukegan.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. Yeah, I would just sit down with Pelosi and Schumer next time, and I'd ask them how much money did they spend on their personal home security, and what type of security do they have for their homes?
Yeah, they have
security.
They have border patrol. They have phalanx of security guards that go with them everywhere. Exactly. Thanks for the call, Vince. Not everybody gets that, though. Jordan in Forest Park.
Burke gets that.
Yeah.
Senator Schumer, why do you insist on treating illegal aliens as a protected class? You seem to spend more time being more concerned about them than the average American family in your own state. Your actions and statements basically suggest that anybody coming into this country illegally, you're going to protect them. Do you believe that a family in El Salvador right now has a right, if all they want is a better job, that they have a right to come into the U.S. today and stay here? What is your answer?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thanks for the call, Jordan. Really good question. Verlon on the south side.
Well, I got another answer for you, the reason why they don't want the wall. They're open border globalists. It's like arguing with some kids. Okay, the wall is good for the country, but you're arguing with some kids. You're telling these kids, eat your broccoli. It's good for you. Eat your lima beans. It's good for you. All you hear the kids say is, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. It's just a bunch of kids. They have no answer for why they don't want what's good for them. But you know what? I'm proud of my president because he was measured. He wasn't a wild man like they say he is. And to negotiate with these kids, I give them credit and I give them points for it because these people are a joke. They have no answer for why they don't want America protected by the wall.
Thanks for the call, Verlon. The other thing, too, is, hey, Nancy and Chuck, what would you have advised me to do with respect to the caravan? Should we let them in? I want to know your position on it. I know you and your party don't want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Should we let them in? What should I do?
5 terrorists were among those arrested. Known terrorists with ties to, I don't know if it was Al-Qaeda, but to ties with terrorist groups overseas.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome to Billy's Burgers.
Double cheese with fries, please.
Slide your card. Thank you. Your order number is 7,345. Next.
Number 2, order is ready.
2? Oh, come on.
Waiting is no fun. But you don't have to wait to see your energy bill. Visit ComEd.com/myaccount, sign in, and get all the answers you need about your bill. Fast. That's ComEd.com/myaccount. ComEd, powering lives.
For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and with an outstanding education and preparation for life. And now I'm sure that you know that the same experience is now available for your daughter. St. John's is an excellent co-ed environment. It's not a school for troubled kids. Kids from all over the country, all over the world, go to St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. It prepares them for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership. You build your character. Their goal is to prepare the cadets for success in life by instilling in them a solid work ethic and an understanding of the value of integrity, teamwork, the ability to think critically, communicate well, and function in a diverse and ever-changing world. It's been around since 1884. The Academy is principally a boarding school for young men and women grades 7 through 12, but has an active day program for those grades and well. And there is always ongoing enrollment, which means there is always time to enroll your son or daughter. Here's what you do. For more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. sjnma.org.
Imagining a better bank starts with looking at the savings rates most banks offer and saying, really? Capital One is building something better. You can open a Capital One savings account with one of the nation's best savings rates from anywhere, like here, or here, or here. One of the nation's best savings rates. Opened online, at a Capital One location, or from anywhere. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One N.A. member FDIC. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. The path to putting a Democrat in the White House runs through God. That's not me saying God favors Republicans. That's potty-mouthed DNC Chairman Tom Perez saying God's faithful disapprove of Tom's faithful because of biblical instruction on pesky issues like life and death. Quoting from Perez's comments on the clergy, that person on the pulpit is saying, ignore everything else that this person, Trump, has done and is doing. We have to focus on one issue of Roe v. Wade. And people buy it because that's their only source. Perez is at once troubled by Americans who think checks and balances apply to the judicial branch and life is a gift from God not to be easily discarded. Perez is additionally unnerved by churchgoers who lean on spiritual leaders working from Western civilization's source material rather than finding their righteous footing from Sister Maddow's Jeremiads. The short of it is Tom Perez would like you to stop attending church because it puts a real crimp in the ability of Democrats to make the state your God.
AM 560, The Answer.
We have a great new long list of business benefactors. Advanced Design Studio, Waterleaf Women's Clinic.
Oh, I know the Waterleaf folks. They're Crisis Pregnancy Center.
Oh, good.
Great.
Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, our friend Garrett. CMT Research Foundation. And my favorite, the Viking Shop in Chicago and Barrington. Have you been there?
It's a ski shop, right?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't ski.
Oh, but if you did, you could look like you ski. Just go there and get yourself a jacket, pants,
Yeah,
and a hat, and you'll be good to go.
I'll go get some new snow pants.
Yeah. I could just see you in a pair of black snow pants. How do you become a business benefactor, Dan?
Well, you make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor, and in exchange for that, for your generosity, we provide some of our own 40, 60-second commercials that will run on our airwaves primetime hours during the week, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., to promote your business to our affluent entrepreneurial listener group. And the way you sign up for that, to consummate that deal, call our sales manager, Anjanette, her phone number, 847-472-8951, 847-472-8951, and Anjanette will get you all signed up.
And we thank you for your generosity. And also, if you are a business owner, this really is the best deal. Nowhere in Chicago could you get 40, 60-second commercials for $2,500. So thank you. And again, call Anjanette, 847-472-8951. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Alan Simpson tells CNN's Allison Camerata to find something productive to do with her life. That's sound advice at 5:38.
And later, how Rahm Emanuel plans on paying for those pensions. You want to hear this one. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
34 degrees, and we start overseas. France's interior minister is confirming 3 are dead, 12 others injured in a shooting near a Christmas market in Strasbourg. Several of those suffered critical injuries. This man says he was simply walking through the market when the shots rang out.
I heard some shot, 6 or 7 shots, and then I saw 2 people on the ground, and many people, of course, screaming and starting to run.
2 police officials have identified the suspected gunman as 29-year-old Sharif Chakat. Several police sources telling the AP that Chakat's criminal record mentions 25 cases, including several serious cases of robbery. The suspected attacker grew up with 6 siblings in Strasbourg, worked for local authorities after leaving school, and has been unemployed since 2011. United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley sits down with NBC's Today Show in an interview airing this morning. We'll follow that developing story for you. Canadian judge is granting bail to the Chinese executive whose arrest last week raised tensions between the U.S. and China. Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou must surrender her passport and put up $7 million in bail. President Trump's former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen will find out today whether he will go to prison. The president, meantime, says he had a somewhat positive meeting with Democrat leaders Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi at the White House yesterday after having an argument over border security live in front of the cameras.
I have to say I thought it was a very good meeting. When the press left, we had a fairly long meeting and we really discussed a lot of great subjects.
Speaking at the bill signing after the meeting, the president repeated his push for border wall funding. The U.S. Geological Survey this morning says a magnitude 4.4 earthquake this morning in Tennessee woke up those living in that state just north of Chattanooga.
I'm near a small military outpost, and when I heard it, I thought maybe a helicopter was going over the house, because when I was outside yesterday, a helicopter did go over the house.
The tremor was centered around Decatur. The quake followed up by a magnitude 3.3 aftershock. Speaking of aftershocks, British Prime Minister Theresa May faces a no-confidence vote this hour from her Conservative Party members.
I will contest that vote with everything I've got. I have been a member of the Conservative Party for over 40 years. I've served it as an activist, councillor, MP, shadow minister, Home Secretary, and now as Prime Minister.
May's problems stem from her attempts to negotiate a deal with the European Union for the UK to leave the EU. Search crews are scrambling to find 3 inside an abandoned coal mine in West Virginia. Rescue efforts were being put on hold late last night and are expected to resume later today in Clear Creek, about 50 miles southeast of Charleston. U.S. investigators this morning believe Chinese state hackers were behind last month's hack of Marriott's reservation system. Drivers should use caution while on the roads this morning. In the Chicago area, the National Weather Service says there's a chance of freezing rain and snow in the region. No one is in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. And a student at a suburban Chicago junior high has been arrested after allegedly posting online in a chat room threatening to shoot up the school. DuPage County State's attorneys and Naperville police say the male student appeared in court yesterday. He was a student at Washington Junior High. Winnipeg over the Blackhawks 6-3. White Sox add a right-hander to their starting rotation at the winter meetings, acquiring Ivan Nova. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. From now through December, Napa has its biggest holiday sale ever with hundreds of items at their best prices of the year. Items like a Bluetooth speaker with an LED light system for only $29.99. Only available at Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how while supplies last. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher has seen something refreshing out of Washington.
We've seen a classy, beautiful, solemn send-off to the 41st President of the United States, and we have seen a ton of unity. I think that's a good thing. I know it's a good thing. Now, I know many of you like to fight, and you want to keep fighting. That's fine. We got plenty of fights coming up. Don't worry. Give it a week.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742. 4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
I'm Amy Errett, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. It's very meaningful to me when I hear customers talk about how Madison Reed at-home hair color has changed their lives. Here's Vicky, one of our very first customers.
Coloring my own hair is easier than I ever imagined. The best part, I no longer have to sit in a salon and pay over $100 to have this done. Now I color it when it's convenient for me, and it takes less than an hour. People compliment me on how great my color is, and my hair is incredibly soft and healthy looking.
Experience beautiful, multi-dimensional, ammonia-free, salon-quality color for under $25. Join the hundreds of thousands of women who have tried and loved Madison Reed. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code YES123. That's code YES123. Try it. Love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
5:37 and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
In Elgin, 20 is now closed between Long Common and Shannon Parkway due to a crash at 20 and Nestler. Southwest side, crash. California at Archer, that intersection is shut down. CTA Red Line trains stopped near 63rd with medical emergency. Still seeing some heavy traffic at Des Plaines, Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe and Pilgrim's Shrine in that area. Seeing heavy traffic on the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway, Cottage Grove to the merge. Just a 2 or 3 minute delay right now. Lakeshore Drive, expect a little congestion between Soldier Field and Roosevelt. There are traffic signals flashing red in that area. The other expressways and tollways for now are looking pretty good. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, there's a chance of a bit of snow and rain this morning, some freezing drizzle in the National Weather Service forecast. High 38, cloudy and 26, mostly cloudy and 40 tomorrow. We stand at 34 at O'Hare, and your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So Tiny Dancer, as she pirouettes towards the exit, has a lot of ideas for what Chicago and the state of Illinois should do to address infrastructure, to address unfunded pension liabilities. And he was holding forth with them.
Oh, he's got plans. You ready?
Got to raise the gas tax. I know.
Well,
that.
yeah, gas tax that came yesterday because gas prices are dropping now. So what better time than to raise the gas tax?
Well, he also said he's calling for a 20 to 30 cent per gallon increase.
Oh my gosh, 20 cents a gallon?
20 to 30 cents a gallon in the state's gas tax to pay for a statewide transportation bill. How about that?
Statewide, well, you should stick to Chicago, but okay.
I saw this yesterday, and I thought, well, I would send to Paris for yellow vests, but who in Chicago would wear them? Who in Illinois would wear them? We're Stockholm Syndrome Central. So we don't have the impetus to do anything about our political overlords. I guess we're not as brave here as the French. What a commentary that is. Yeah, 20 to 30 cents per gallon, state's gas tax to pay for statewide transportation bill. And by the way, don't think that something on that order wasn't already being bandied about in Springfield or within the upper reaches of Spalding's transition team. Of course, they want a capital bill. They got to pay off all the trades and the public sector unions and the contractors. Of course they do. So there's one idea, but he's got more.
Yeah, one of his ideas involves you ready? Legalization of recreational marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor says that he's going to propose that any tax money the city receives from the legalization of recreational marijuana will be dedicated to, oh no, not the schools. It would be dedicated entirely to the pensions.
Yeah. So
all of it.
So here's the thing. Obviously, Spalding has already said that on day one he's going to sign legislation, or he's ready to sign legislation to legalize dope in Illinois, because that's how we fund. This is a mob economy. We fund it through protection rackets, gambling, and drugs.
Well, that's another thing. Casinos. They want all the revenue from casinos to go directly to pensions.
City of Chicago Casino. Boy, one of his main benefactors, Tiny Dancers, that is Ken Griffin. I wonder how that sets with him. Anyway, so, yeah, right. So, again, protection rackets, drugs, and gambling. My only question, not that these aren't all wonderful ideas, because, of course, they are. They're coming from our ruling class. My only question is, when do we close the show by legalizing prostitution? And then, lay the foundation, and then you build upon those foundations. So we legalize marijuana, and then we move on to legalizing cocaine and heroin and the like, because this is just about revenue, right? I mean, if it generates revenue, that's all we care about. So that would generate revenue. And, hey, listen to the proponents of dope legalization. I mean, people are going to do it anyway. People are going to patronize.
People are going to go to Michigan.
People are going to patronize prostitutes anyway. People are going to use hard drugs anyway. So if that's the only threshold question, then why wouldn't we legalize all of the above? Think about all the money we generate. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Who's with me? Who's with me? Across the board, right? We're just revenue generators for the state. That's why we're here. So why not allow our overlords to fully capitalize on our vices by incentivizing them and expanding them, though those that are formally legal? And then the police could focus on the real jobs.
Oh, right.
Right? They could focus on the violent criminals. Another
What
argument.
about the people who are behind bars for possession of marijuana if it becomes legalized? Are we just going to vacate their sentencing? Just let them out?
Well, you don't have to, because was the law.
Right, at the time.
But,
Okay.
But it doesn't matter, because Kim Foxx and Tony Preckwinkle are cleaning out the jails anyway. So we'll get rid of it. Everybody will, we'll let all the criminals out of jail, too. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we don't have to pay to feed them. Yeah.
But it's perfect. There's no cost to releasing criminals back on the streets.
No, none.
Because we only look at the front end of the cost to house them. We don't look at the social costs with respect to their, criminal activity. And, I mean, it's the same thing with these other matters. So let's do it. Let's get marijuana done so that we can get on to cocaine and heroin and all the other psychotropic drugs out there.
Crack? Oh, crack.
Everything.
No, not crack.
What? Why?
Once you do crack, you never go back.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for that.
Public service announcement.
And then the prostitution, for sure. You have to do that. Right?
It's next on the list. I mean, really. They're
Well-
already taxing our PlayStation. 9% is an amusement tax.
So you got that. Oh, and by the way, Emmanuel makes this important point
What?
on the gas tax. It's remained frozen at 34 cents since 1990. 24 states have raised their gas taxes since 2012. So Illinois is just trying to keep up. Now, the points he doesn't make, just on this, so you can share with your ignorant friends who just rinse and repeat whatever they hear from Tiny Dancer. The people that have advanced degrees.
Yes.
The Illinois families already pay the highest total tax burden in the country, and that's what matters. Chicago routinely has the highest gas price in the country, because the difference between Illinois and the rest of the country is that gas is double taxed here. There's a gas tax, but there's also a sales tax. So there's tax on the tax.
Oh, that's so we're getting taxed on our tax?
And Tiny Dancer doesn't mention that. All right. Let's see. Bruno in Chicago. You're in Naperville. You're in Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, so without spending discipline, what's going to happen is if they pass these new taxes and they devote the revenues just to paying down the pension obligations, they're just going to not fund something else, so the state will borrow more money to fund those things that would otherwise have been funded with the new taxes, and will just go deeper into debt.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. So what? Thanks for the call, Bruno. That's why we have to legalize all those things I said. because we don't care about the spend side or the borrow side. It's only about the revenue side. So focus on where people are focused. Nobody cares about the spend side or the borrow side, which is just another version of the spend side. They just care about revenue. So I don't want to hear this loose talk about spending and borrowing. I mean, it's like, it's like Tiny Dancer floating his $10 billion bond scheme again to try to stave off capsizing the police and pension fire funds in the city. I mean, look, one municipal finance expert said there's a lot of volatility and uncertainty on investment returns if you borrow at 5% or 8% in our case, and you only earn 3%, you've made the problem bigger. We don't care about that. I don't want to hear concern about making the problem bigger because nobody cares about that. I want to hear how we more fully capitalize on our fellow man, how we more fully exploit our fellow man and woman for money for the state. That's the only thing I'm interested in because that's the only thing the state is interested in. So let's focus, people. Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
A gas tax is a classic example of the most regressive tax possible.
Which is why it's
and
great.
Its impact on those, I'm sorry?
Which is why it's great.
Dan, and its impact on those that can afford it the least, which is another example of Mayor Emanuel's just utter contempt for people that he sees beneath them. And I know that he's a smart man, and he's an intelligent man. And he saw the way things can spin out of control, and he saw what happened with the yellow coats in Paris. And I'm just wondering if his three-man detail and their backup is going to be able to, withstand something like that in the streets and alleys of Ravenswood. It's kind of a different setup. And the same for Pritzker, who's going to be responsible for enacting that. The streets and alleys of Chicago are kind of different than the malls of Paris. And this could really get out of hand. And they're just hurting people that can afford it the least.
Thanks for the call, Tom. Well, that's why I like the regressive nature of the gas tax, because it exploits people who can least afford to be exploited. That's fully exploiting your fellow man, which is the culture here, number one. Number two, unlike Gay Paris, we have a constituency that's very docile. So you don't need to worry about unrest.
We should get those yellow jackets.
For who?
Anybody. I mean, this 20 to 30 cents a gallon. That is a big hit.
Who somebody in your neighborhood going to wear one?
I'd be the only one.
Right.
And that's when they send me off to the funny farm.
I mean, look, Amsterdam has this red light district with ladies dancing in the windows.
Yeah.
You got brothels there. What about that on the Mag Mile or State Street?
Lakeview Light District.
Big revenue producer.
Right by Ram's house, we can do it. Set her up.
Yeah. And then we don't have to lose our prostitutes to other states.
Right.
Because
we could do it on that corridor in Ravenswood between Irving and Montrose.
Because isn't that the argument that's being made about ever expanding gambling? Right. All I'm doing is making the arguments they're making for drug legalization and gambling expansion. So why wouldn't we apply it to prostitution? I mean, why? Jay in Lowell, Indiana.
Yeah, I don't know if it's legalization of dope. I don't know what the local gangbanger slinging dope in his neighborhoods have to say about that. I don't know if they want to get in competition here. You're going to put a lot of entrepreneurs out of business. What do you think?
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks for the call, Jay. I mean, the guy in the street, I don't know. You sold me and I sold you. Joe in Hoffman Estates.
Hey, guys. They could tax everything and anything they want and keep taxing it. And in about 4, 5, 6 years, they're going to say that they're broke again. Just like the gambling machines, the lottery, all these gas taxes. I mean, they're taxing the housing taxes, and it's just never enough.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thanks for the call, Joe.
It's not going to stop, ever.
We love it. Why would it stop? We can't get enough of this. This was fantastic. Mike in St. Charles.
Hello, Dan, Amy. Great show.
Thank you.
I got an idea. When they legalize recreational marijuana, I say forget putting the money into the pensions. You take the tax dollars, you put it into infrastructure, specifically to fix the roads, and then we call it the Pothole Project. Have a good day.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I like it. Tony on the south side.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
lest anyone thinks that this will go away once Tiny Dancer leaves office, I heard something that just blew me away. One of these, I think one of the Daily Sperms who's running for mayor suggested this, and some other candidates for mayor.
Yeah,
they want to be able to now talk about a commuter tax. So if you don't live in the city of Chicago and you work in the city, let's tax these people that are coming in here because they know where we live. Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, out in the suburbs. Don't they understand that what the employee is going to do is they're either going to demand that their employer pays for that, or they're going to leave their job and go elsewhere. That's great for the economy too, isn't it?
Thanks, Tony.
And yesterday, Mayor Emanuel was joined with mayors from the Metropolitan Mayors Caucus.
Yeah, suburban mayors.
There were more of them up there, and there are three reporters in the audience. That's it. Oh, no, 4. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All behind Rahm. Kissing the ring of Rahm on
And
his way out.
and you have a lot of suburban mayors that'll go right along.
Yeah.
Of course, right along with Tiny Dancer, right along with Chicago. They're just toadies for Chicago. They're real impressed. They get to shake Rahm's hand, maybe take a picture.
Oh, yeah, they were all on TV yesterday standing behind him.
Yeah.
Well, what's in it for them? Really? You think Rahm's not going to keep it all for Chicago?
Al Larson,
Of course he is.
These mayors have been there forever, like Al Larson and Schomburg. Yeah, he gets to go down at City Hall, pretend he's a big shot. He gets to be a big shot in, out here in the suburbs. And for what? How's it going? I mean, look at your mayors, because many of the names that I saw signed on to this proposal are mayors that have been around for the last 20 years at least. So how's it going in your town? In addition to your region, in addition to your state.
Check to make sure your mayor's not signed on to this.
Level up. No. Not only sign on, triple down. Tell your mayor, let's go. Why so slow on the uptake?
Funny.
Let's make, what better place for a brothel than Woodfield Mall?
Oh,
you do a little shopping before, afterwards.
Yeah. Or you could have sex spots. Those.
You could have a sex brothel. Sure. Right. Anything goes.
You could still get revenue off of that too.
It's a good point. Yeah.
The old Sears is gone. You could use that space.
Looks like your wheels are turning. Like you maybe want to open a business.
Maybe you do.
Robert in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Great show as always. Right now in the United States, it's a $1 billion a day industry, just marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as soon as you legalize it like it did in Colorado, all you did was explode the underworld. Because right now in Colorado, it's $150 for an ounce of weed. And you can buy an ounce of weed on the street for $100.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference? Is a police officer going to ask you, can I see a receipt for that marijuana? No.
No, you know what one of the differences is? Potency.
Oh, yeah.
No. Just, please, the potency in the 70s when I smoked it is just as strong as it is today. It all depends on where you get it.
Well, that's my point. The one that's a difference depends on where you get it. Thanks for the call, Robert, and for
Glad to know you're still using after all these years.
For your history, as always. Robert has a very colorful history. He's lived a colorful life, and that's fun. But here's the thing about that. We had a woman on to talk about the Colorado experience who's in Colorado. It's not great. I wonder where Matt is on this, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, on pot legalization.
Oh, yeah. Huh. They should change their name, Mothers Against Impaired Driving.
I wonder where, if anywhere, the opposition is going to come from to this path that we're on of legalizing, incentivizing, so we can get our cut.
My college roommate lives in Colorado, and now she's doing it. I said, why? She said, well, it's legal, so and now she's addicted to the gummy bears.
I'll tell you what, look, why should El Chapo have all the fun? Let's get the state of Illinois in the business.
Marijuana is the flame, heroin is the fuse, LSD is the bomb.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
If you're like most people and you see 2 gas stations and one sells gas for a little bit less, you go to that one. It just makes sense. Every little bit helps. But here's what's weird, though. Sometimes we save a few pennies here and there and ignore opportunities to save huge money, life-changing money. If you switch to Medi-Share for your health care, it could be massive savings for you. The typical savings for a family is $500 a month. Think what you could do with that over time. Just doing the math, that's $6,000 a year. That is significant. And yes, people love it, and they love it because it works. It's believers who share each other's healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people are now members of Medishare, and it's growing like crazy. Find out how much you could save and why Medishare is so popular. Go to Medishare.com or call 855-BIBLE-11. That's 855-BIBLE-11. Medishare.com or 855-BIBLE-11.
I have the perfect Christmas or any other occasion gift for just about everybody on your list. I suggest the MyPillow Holiday 4-Pack. You get 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. Think about that for a second. You can give 1, 2, 3, or even 4 gifts, all for the price of 1. Or if you still don't have a MyPillow for yourself, keep one and gift the rest. And the money-back guarantee offer is extended through March 1st. Not only that, but you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper and pet beds that you've heard me rave about. So just be sure to use the promo code Amy. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
AM 560, The Answer.
Thank you to Harding's Heavy Equipment, the Elevator Consultants, the Anglers Outlet, McNaughton Development in Burr Ridge, Palatine Complete Dental, AmericanEagle.com, Cafe Salsa, Spiegel and Hill Attorneys at Law, and so many more companies who signed up for the Business Benefactor Program to help us achieve our goal of feeding for 1 year and providing clean water for life for 3,000 Haitian children this Christmas.
And we're almost at our goal to do that. But again, we need your help to get across the finish line. And if you own a business or make the marketing decisions for your company, why not become a business benefactor? Reach like-minded people. Try and expand your business, your customer base by advertising here on AM 560, The Answer. One-time donation of $2,500. Tax deductible. All of the money goes to Food for the Poor. And as a way of saying thank you, we give you 40 60-second commercials that will air right here Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you want that business benefactor program or to become a business benefactor, call Ann Jeanette. If you have any questions, what do? You call Ann Jeanette. Her phone number, what's her phone number, Dan? You're the numbers guy.
847-472-8951.
That's 847-472-8951. Or you can just go to 560theanswer.com, keyword food, and get more information. But this really is a wonderful way. And I want to thank, too, the Viking Ski Shop in Chicago and Barrington. I get a lot of my hats from there. I don't know if you've seen me.
No, they're very stylish. Yes.
Very stylish. And the Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Waterleaf Women's Clinic as well, just to name a few. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We have the kid going up against Mike Madigan. David Krupa, 19-year-old DePaul freshman, targeted for political elimination by the most powerful politician in the state. He joins us at 6:06.
But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
A man stabbed to death in the South Shore neighborhood. Chicago police investigating. A pregnant woman critically wounded in a Round Lake shooting. And the Blackhawks dropped their 8th straight in a loss to the Jets. WIND Chicago News Time, 6.
An attack at a Christmas market in France. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. 5 people are in custody for questioning. There's a manhunt on for the killer.
French police identifying the suspected gunman as a 29-year-old man, Sharif Shakat, who'd been flagged as a potential extremist. It's understood he has an extensive police record, sentenced to prison time in 3 countries for various robberies. 3 people were killed and 13 injured in the shooting last night in Strasbourg. A terrorism investigation is underway, and the French Interior Minister says security is being stepped up at Christmas markets nationwide.
Fox's Simon Owen. There's a vote in British Parliament this evening on whether Prime Minister Theresa May should keep her job.
I will contest that vote with everything I've got.
The fight is over her plan for handling a breakup with the European Union. If a government shutdown happens, President Trump says he'll own it for the sake of border security. Fox's Rachel Sutherland's live in Washington.
Chris, an extraordinary scene in the Oval Office yesterday as President Trump, House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi, and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer bickered over funding for a border wall in front of cameras.
Do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It is very good border
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
The president wants $5 billion for the wall. The Senate is offering $1.6 billion for border security. Congress has until December 21st to pass a spending bill to avoid a partial government shutdown. Chris?
Rachel Sutherland in Washington, thanks. The Trump administration, meantime, is asking the Supreme Court to block a ban on a new policy that asylum seekers have to enter the country legally to be considered for asylum. A federal appeals court ruled last month that President Trump does not have the authority to rewrite immigration laws that say people can apply for asylum no matter how they enter the country. Dow futures are up 164 points ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street, and this is Fox News.
34 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Drivers should use a little caution on the roads around Chicagoland. The National Weather Service says there's a chance of freezing rain and a little bit of light snow crossing the region. No one in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. It happened near an apartment building at 77th and Essex. The victim died later in a hospital. Investigators believe the incident is domestic. A pregnant woman in critical condition after being shot in the head in Round Lake. Authorities say that shooting happened yesterday inside of a home on West Nippersink Road. One person of interest has been taken into custody. Mayor Emanuel is calling for a 20 to 30 cents a gallon increase in the state's gas tax.
Costs have gone up, usage has gone up, and the resources to invest have stayed stagnant. That's unsustainable.
Speaking yesterday at City Hall alongside a small group of suburban mayors, Emanuel argued the extra funding is needed. Meantime, candidates running to replace the lame duck Chicago mayor getting a chance to share their views with voters. Nearly a dozen took part in two different forums last night at the UIC Pavilion and the Copernicus Center. A student at a suburban Chicago junior high has been arrested after allegedly posting online in a chat room a threat to shoot up the school. In a news release, the Page County State's Attorney's Office and the Naperville Police Department announcing that the male student at Washington High School appeared in court Tuesday and was released to his parents for home detention. An Emmy Award-winning Chicago filmmaker has died. Bill Siegel has passed away. He won the Emmy for his 2013 documentary, The Trials of Muhammad Ali. The cause of death was not available. Blackhawks doubled up by the Jets in Winnipeg, 6-3 last night. Bulls in Mexico City tomorrow night take on the Magic. White Sox add a right-hander to their starting rotation, acquiring Ivan Nova from the Pirates. The news is a service of Peloton, the perfect gift for them and you. There's still a chance to give the gift of a Peloton bike when you order the bike by 12/20. You get a free welcome gift, so you'll still have Peloton under the tree this holiday. See onepeloton.com, that's onepeloton.com, or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oak Brook Center, and Westfield, Old Orchard. 6:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you're self-employed and purchase your own health insurance, I have some good news. From now until December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition, and depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. And this year, thanks to President Trump, if you're healthy and your income is too high to qualify for a subsidy, there is a new and competitive non-Obamacare marketplace where premiums are much lower and the PPO networks include access to our teaching hospitals in Chicago. Employers who provide small group coverage also have new options, and so do seniors looking for Medicare supplement coverage. Call me, I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for 7 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Give the gift that fits all appetites. A Lettuce Entertain You gift card. You get a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in Lettuce gift cards you buy through December 30th. Visit LEYE.com or stop into a Lettuce restaurant today.
6:07. Let's get an update on the roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
In Elgin, 20 is closed between Shannon Parkway and Long Common. Nestler is closed between 20 and Gansett Parkway due to a major wreck. Closures are expected to last several hours. CTA trains are stopped near 63rd on the red line due to a medical emergency on the tracks. Consider an alternate. Edens looks good right now. Kennedy inbound at Cumberland Central and Belmont Fullerton. 29 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, 21. On Eisenhower, delays start at Manheim, 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to Merge, Mission 428. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
May come across some freezing drizzle this morning, some snow and rain at times too, little or no accumulation. Otherwise a cloudy day, high 38. Cloudy tonight and tomorrow, low tonight 26, the high tomorrow at 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
34 degrees officially at O'Hare. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And our next guest is making quite a splash on the Chicago political scene in just a few weeks, just by filing to run for alderman in the 13th Ward. David Krupa, 19-year-old DePaul University freshman, has accomplished more than Madigan and Marty Quinn have accomplished in 55 years collectively on the dole. He's done something that I didn't think could be done.
What's that?
Marty Quinn, as you know, is a professional mime. He doesn't speak. He's the only professional mime on the city council that I'm aware of. He has gotten both Marty Quinn and Madigan mob attorney Mike Casper to actually go on the record.
To speak to the media?
Yeah, Marty Quinn had to defend if you haven't seen it, this curious case of challenging David Krupa's nominating petitions that he filed and coming up with about 1,000 more revocations than signatures actually filed by Krupa, only of 183 of which were actual signatories on Krupa's petition. So the upshot of it is the 13th Ward Democrat Organization, headed by Mike Madigan, committed what looks to be massive voter fraud by getting people by hook or by crook to perjure themselves by signing an affidavit that is subject to perjury charges if you file a false affidavit. Signing an affidavit that say they didn't sign a petition that most of them didn't sign in the first place.
I see what you did there.
And
I see what they did.
But Marty Quinn...
Oh, he took one question and then he ran away from the media.
Here's the real issue.
Yes.
The real issue isn't our voter fraud. The real issue is David Krupa.
I don't think that any alderman, except for maybe Ed Burke, has the organization.
Well, that's David Krupa, right? Talking about 13th Ward Organization.
As the 19-year...
We'll have to effort what Marty Quinn said. Okay, anyway, the upshot of it is he blamed Trump, because that's your get-out-of-jail-free card, literally in this case. Just blame Trump. David Krupa was a Trump supporter, so how could David Krupa get legitimate signatures in my ward? Was essentially Quinn's argument before he scurried back to his office. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by aldermanic candidate, ? David Krupa. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
So before we get into all of the intrigue, where does the matter stand right now in terms of your candidacy?
Well, right now we motion for a dismissal, and we have a hearing on Saturday at 1 p.m., and we're going to present all of our information there and try and get this whole thing thrown out on the grounds of mass election fraud.
Wow. How did you find out about this?
Well, that's the funny thing. We wouldn't have found out unless we filed with the Freedom of Information Act and received these revocations ahead of time, because otherwise we would have never known about the thousands that they filed that were no good. So my lawyer was smart enough. He's a really good attorney to file with the Freedom of Information Act, and we received that information.
And why are you doing this in the first place? I mean, look at how good these public servants have been to you. They let you go to DePaul. They let you drive a forklift. Why isn't that enough?
Well, every great democracy should have options. Our local democracy has not had an option on its ballot in 30 years. And it's because every year, or every election rather, people get taken off the ballot by something much bigger than themselves, something much bigger than their opponents. They get taken off by an organization. And it's really an organization that's corrupting democracy. And I just want to stay on the ballot for the fundamental reason that we should have an option. And I think the people deserve it, and they certainly want to vote for another option.
So tell us about the threats you've been getting. Have you been getting death threats or text messages? What has life been like for you lately?
Well, I've certainly gotten a lot of hate on social media, or at least in my messages. There are a couple of people who wish me nothing but the worst. And then, one of the most surprising ones was my precinct captain. My precinct captain found me out walking on my block one day saying hi to my neighbors. And he came up behind me and said, "Hey, you got a bright future and you're a good kid, but I'd hate to see something bad happen to you." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "No, nothing. I just don't want to see you get hurt." And so, right away I went and filed a police report about that because I take it pretty seriously.
Well, I mean, he's obviously your guardian angel. I mean, you just can't take help, David. That's your problem there. All those people that are trying to help you, Marty Quinn, your precinct captain, all the good people, all the good people of the 13th Ward. So when you did gather your 1,700 odd signatures, what was the reaction? Were people afraid to sign your petitions when you said, can you please sign my petition? I'm running for alderman in the 13th Ward. What did they say?
Well, we had a lot of people who said, "I'm sorry, I can't sign it." They would not give me anything if I signed your petition. Some other people said, "Hey, I'm a city worker, I'm afraid to sign it." But we got a lot of people who said, "You know what? last election, they told me I would get a pothole fixed or a street light fixed if I signed their petition, and nothing happened. So you know what? Let me sign yours. And we got a lot of that support across the whole ward. And I like how he said, I don't know how he got 1,700 signatures. If he wasn't going around and scaring people into not signing, we probably would have gotten closer to 3,000.
So what has he been telling people when they come in and get those signatures saying, nulling and voiding the signature that they gave you? What's the story that they give them?
Well, some people, they were told that it was just verifying their signature, whatever that means. But really, it was effectively taking their signature off my petition. Another case, they told them it was for just making sure that I don't use his signature fraudulently, which that doesn't make any sense either. And then they were saying also to some people, you sign both petitions, that's illegal. If you don't sign this, then you could possibly go to jail. You need to sign this to make sure you don't go to jail.
What did
They'll stop at nothing. Huh?
What are the kids saying at DePaul? What are your classmates saying? I don't know. Maybe they have some friends that are also politically active. What do they say?
I do have quite a few friends who are very politically active at DePaul. They're rooting me on. They've got their own internships and stuff going on with different politicians, and so I respect that they don't have the time to help me on my campaign, but they certainly support me in this, and they wish me all the best.
Have you met Marty Quinn before?
I've seen him around a couple of times. I only met him once. It was an interesting meeting.
Well, what happened?
How's that? Yeah.
Hello.
Him and my precinct captain were walking down my block. They had been on my block 5 times in the past week, telling my neighbors not to talk to me, not to sign anything. And so I was sitting out on the porch with my girlfriend, and I seen him walking down the block, so I waved, and the precinct captain looked at me, and then he looked, and Marty got his attention. Marty looked at me, and I waved again. They came walking over.
Uh-oh.
And I shook his hand, and I said, "Hey, Marty, how's it going?" He says, "Oh, it's going good. How about you?" I said, "It's going good." He said, "So what are you up to?" I said, "Oh, just running for alderman, And he said, "Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice."
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at Paul, and I said, my precinct captain, and I said, "Hey, you've been on my block 5 times this past week, and there's not many signs in the windows. It looks like you're having a hard time." Oh, boy, the way they both got red and flustered, it was unbelievably funny.
And then when did you, at what point did your girlfriend then kick the snot out of both of them? I know that's too easy for you, so I figure you let your girlfriend take care of that.
Well, she was too busy laughing at him to even worry about that kind of stuff. So
well, that's even better than fists.
What's the story like in the 13th Ward? You got the most powerful man in the state as the head of the ward organization, and then you got his toadies like Marty Quinn bouncing around doing his bidding. But, I mean, it should be, I guess, something approximating heaven on earth with Madigan in charge over there, right?
Well, no. As a matter of fact, we've got a lot of issues. We've got security issues. We've got property taxes are an issue, and, of course, our infrastructure is an issue. And, one of the things that I want to do if I get in is I want to make sure that we receive more police presence, more police patrolling at night to make sure that we don't get our cars broken into, make sure that nothing gets stolen. And as for infrastructure, all of our streets are pretty much getting torn up and repaired every year, but it's not because they're repairing the roads, it's because they're putting in new sewers, new electrical, new this, new that, but they don't do it all at one time. It's very poor city planning. I think that Speaker Madigan and Marty Quinn have way too much on their mind to be focusing on our ward, and it's causing them to save all this stuff to the last possible minute, and it really inconveniences us here. People aren't happy.
So, David, I want you to listen to Marty Quinn. This is what he had to say about you.
So I guess the better question is a self-described day one Trump supporter gets 1,700 signatures in the 13th Ward without being disingenuous? That's the question that comes to my mind. Have a good day, guys.
So day one, a Trump supporter. Are you a President Trump supporter?
Well, in 2016, I really supported change to our political system, as I do now. President Trump was up against a candidate that was what I believed not going to bring that change, and he had promised it. And so that's why I supported him in 2016. And now he's the president. So, I certainly don't want to see him do bad, because if he does bad, the country does bad.
Can you help me understand something? Because I don't get it. I'm not as smart as Marty Quinn. What does who you supported for president have to do with the quality of the signatures you got on your petitions?
Well, I don't know. I think, between you and me, I think that they're looking for any reason to say that I fraudulently got my signatures somehow, like I forged all those signatures. This was one of the areas in Chicago. A lot of people voted red in 2016, so he pretty much alienated a third of his constituency when he said that. I couldn't believe it, but it was really just. Go ahead.
Are you and your election attorney, are you going to move on these guys? Because I assume, and I think you mentioned, maybe it was on WGN, that you have friends who were lied to sign these revocation affidavits that were being passed around by Madigan and Marty and their goons. So you essentially know people who were frauded and coaxed into committing perjury, and so there is a way to get those same individuals to sign affidavits describing what happened that implicate at least the person who got them to sign the affidavit, if not up the food chain to Quinn and Madigan.
Right, and so I've had a lot of, a couple for sure, longtime family friends who have signed these things. When I was going through them and I came across their signature, and I said, I can't believe she signed that. And so I called her up and I said, hey, did you know that you signed to take your signature off my petition? And they didn't even know what I was talking about, which means that when it was brought to them, they told them it was for something else. So we're certainly going to go after that. And the amount of fraud and perjury that these guys tricked my neighbors into doing is unbelievable, and it's very, very disgusting. And it could certainly lead to a federal lawsuit. There's a lot of felonies here.
More than that, I mean, I would, and I know you've got an experienced election attorney, but I mean, if once you pull together that evidence, I think it might be something that you should at least see. If there's any interest at, I don't know, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, 219 South Dearborn, where the U.S. Attorney has his offices. Is that something that's under consideration?
Yeah, it is, because, we don't think we can, we can try going to the state's attorney and the Illinois Attorney General and some of the courts in Illinois, but, but you know what I mean? It's like Madigan's daughter is the Illinois Attorney General.
Yeah.
Right. You don't think she'd prosecute her father, do you? Yeah.
I don't know. I certainly don't want to put her honor on the line, but
no.
It would be very, I think, a conflict of interest, for a lot of people.
Yes.
Why we shouldn't have voted her in the first place.
No, it's definitely a conflict of interest for Democrats to prosecute Democrats. There's no question about it, which is why you need to go to 219 South Dearborn when you pull this evidence together. All right, well, we're going to be interested to follow your story as it winds its way through the Star Chambers and maybe even some legitimate outposts of law enforcement. David Krupa, he's a candidate for 13th Ward Alderman. How do people get a hold of you, David? A website or social media? Where should they go?
So if they want, I've got a website up. It's davidkrupa.com. There is a place to contribute there, and there's also a place to send us an email and say your piece. We also have a Facebook page, David Krupa for Alderman-13th Ward. And if anybody wanted to directly email me, my email is david@davidkrupa.com, and I encourage anybody to email me whatever sentiments that they want me to share with Speaker Madigan and Marty Quinn.
Very good. David at davidkrupa, KRUPA.com, and davidkrupa.com is the website. Congratulations on what you're doing, standing up to these thugs. It's inspiring in a place that needs some inspiration, and good luck with your candidacy. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you looking for the perfect gift? I hope you'll check out Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. I love these guys. Mike Gallagher here at Roland's. Not only do they care about making America great again, they also care about making your holiday moments memorable. Buying jewelry is about trust. Rollins is the go-to place. You're going to see why when you visit RollinsJewelers.com or head to downtown Libertyville to work with them in person. It's no hassle. They'll show you pieces from the top designers, Simon G. with beautiful pendants. The Hearts on Fire diamond earrings are a great choice. Italian designer Roberto Coin's collection is gorgeous. Ken over at Rollins is offering up to $500 for AM 560 The Answer listeners. Not just for jewelry, but luxury timepieces, like the watch I wear from Rollins, Shinola, or Longines, or Tag Heuer. Your choice. Rollins Jewelers makes your gift giving easy. RollinsJewelers.com. Let them help you in-store in downtown Libertyville. Rollins Jewelers is a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Email phishing attacks cost businesses billions annually in real cash, data loss, and brand damage. Phishing emails are hard to detect because the messages appear to be legitimate to unsuspecting employees. Introducing Barracuda Fish Line, a groundbreaking cloud-based solution designed to help employees recognize sophisticated email phishing attacks through interactive training reinforced by continuous simulation. Transform your employees from a liability into a line of defense. Go to barracuda.com/PL to learn more.
Dashing through the snow, to CVS we go. A $10 cash card for beauty brands and bows. Lights to dress the tree, and stocking gifts galore. Candy cards and photo gifts and deals throughout the store. At CVS Pharmacy, we've got all the little things you need this holiday. Like a $10 CVS cash card, yours when you spend $30 on select items. This week, M&Ms are 2 for $6 and photo cards are 30% off online. Dash to CVS Pharmacy today. Restrictions apply. See cvs.com/weekly ad for details.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Supporting veterans is our passion. That's why we support Veteran Roasters, a Chicago coffee roaster that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you'd like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee roasted and ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. The coffee's delicious, and the profits are reinvested in hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. If you're a veteran securing a VA loan and would like to work with a local lender who supports veterans, call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, happy 60th birthday to Mike Scott, by the way. We cannot go on another moment with the show.
I'm not 60.
But you, Justin said you were 60.
Yeah, that's a joke. I said my children want to give me I'm 55 today.
Oh, okay.
My children want to give me a T-shirt that says, basically 60.
Ah, I see.
I love my children so much. You
You're
can have
halfway
them
there.
at the next flea market. All 4 of them.
Wow.
Well, Mike, Amy has now made this 55th birthday very special for you.
Because I made it a preview of your 60th.
Yeah.
I'm gray enough to be 60.
Real quick, our business benefactor, we have, the list is getting longer. Companies that have signed up to our business benefactor program, which means a one-time donation of $2,500. The money goes to Food for the Poor. That's who we're teaming up with again this year for our annual holiday campaign to help feed 3,000 children in Haiti. $2,500 tax deductible. Money goes to Food for the Poor, and we give you 40 one-minute commercials to become a business benefactor. You're going to want to do it sooner rather than later. Call Anjanette, 847-472-8951. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Does the Southern District of New York have a campaign finance case against President Trump? We'll ask former Federal Election Commission Chairman Bradley Smith at 6:36.
And later, students who oppose Clarence Thomas building, but they have no idea why. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. President Trump threatening to shut down government. Congress doesn't give him funding for a border wall. Now, the government runs out of money on December 21st, and the president is insisting on about $5 billion for a border wall in a funding extension bill. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is hoping for a smooth ending to the growing dispute.
With maximum cooperation, magic things happen at Christmas, and that's what I'm counting on.
Senate Democrat Minority Leader Chuck Schumer accused the president in a White House meeting of throwing a temper tantrum. President Trump's former personal lawyer could be sentenced to prison today. Federal prosecutors say Michael Cohen deserves a stiff sentence because he wasn't forthcoming in the special counsel probe. Search crews in West Virginia are urgently searching for 3 believed to be trapped inside an abandoned coal mine. 4 people were initially reported missing. 1 was found on Monday. The U.S. Geological Survey reports a magnitude 4.4 earthquake this morning in Tennessee.
It actually was good enough, strong enough to be felt in Atlanta and many areas of North Georgia. So if you go on social media or you're talking to your friends, you hear people talking about it, but I haven't seen any reports of any damage or anything else.
The tremor centered on Decatur, Tennessee, about 30 minutes north of Chattanooga. France's interior minister is confirming 3 are dead, 12 others seriously hurt following a shooting near a Christmas market in Strasbourg. This man was walking through the market when the shots rang out.
I heard some shot, 6 or 7 shots, and then I saw 2 people on the ground, and many people, of course, screaming and starting to run.
5 are in custody. The shooter remains on the run. British Prime Minister Theresa May faces a no-confidence vote from her Conservative Party members today. May's problems stem from her attempts to negotiate a deal with the European Union for the UK to leave the EU. Drivers may have to use a little caution on the roads here in the Chicago area. National Weather Service says there's a chance of freezing rain and a light dusting of snow through the region. 1 person is in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. A pregnant woman remains in critical condition after being shot in the head in Round Lake. 1 person of interest is being interviewed by police. United Airlines flight attendants are set to picket at O'Hare, the demonstration being held to protest looming staff cuts at the giant airline. Chicago sports. Winnipeg over the Blackhawks 6-3. White Sox add a right-hander to the back end of their starting rotation, acquiring Ivan Nova from the Pirates. The News is a service of Napa Auto Parts. From now through December, Napa having its biggest holiday sale ever with hundreds of items at the best prices of the year. Items like a Bluetooth speaker with an LED light system for only $29.99, only available at Napa. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how while supplies last. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Email phishing attacks cost businesses billions annually in real cash, data loss, and brand damage. Phishing emails are hard to detect because the messages appear to be legitimate to unsuspecting employees. Introducing Barracuda Phishline, a groundbreaking cloud-based solution designed to help employees recognize sophisticated email phishing attacks through interactive training reinforced by continuous simulation. Transform your employees from a liability into a line of defense. Go to barracuda.com/PL to learn more.
Dashing through the snow to CVS we go. A $10 cash card for beauty brands and bows. Lights to dress the tree and stocking gifts galore. Candy cards and photo gifts and deals throughout the store. At CVS Pharmacy, we've got all the little things you need this holiday, like a $10 CVS cash card, yours when you spend $30 on select items. This week, M&Ms are 2 for $6 and photo cards are 30% off online. Dash to CVS Pharmacy today. Restrictions apply. See cvs.com/weekly ad for details.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I've been on it now. It's got to be
close to 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
But I've never run out, and I like to have a little cushion. I want to double up if I feel a little, like I need a little extra. I don't have to worry about like being stingy with it. I'm 54 years old, but anyway, 9 years ago, almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years this December 6th. And I went to work one day. I went and I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke right at work. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days in the brain trauma unit of the hospital in New Jersey. And the only reason they even tried to save my life was because I was 44 at the time. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. My body's been through a lot. And, I used to be in bed for most of if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I'm talking to you now. I sound pretty wired. And I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, and I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better. And when I came home, I was on 17 medications, not 17 pills. 17 medications, maybe 40 pills a day. Now I'm down to 3 very, very, very low dose pills, and I'm hoping to get off of everything here. Where I was to what I am now, it's unbelievable. I'm so blessed. So you're speaking to literally a miracle.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
6:37, and in Chicago, let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In Volo, Fish Lake Road is closed. Gilmer and 60 due to a gas leak in Elgin. There are closures of 20 between Long Common and Shannon, and up Nestler Road due to a major wreck at 20 in Nestler. Aiden's 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 19. On Kennedy, 41 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Heavier in the express lanes after an earlier crash near Fullerton. Outbound 26 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower, 45 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 32. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 27 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop 432. North on Tri-State heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. There's a chance of a bit of snow and rain this morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, high near 38, cloudy and 26 overnight. Currently 34. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So CNN cornered Orrin Hatch, outgoing Utah senator, in the hallway there at the Capitol, and asked him about the sentencing memos and the revelations, such as CNN is trying to whip up about President Trump and some of his associates as we await Michael Cohen's sentencing today. Here's the exchange between Hatch and a fungible CNN reporter.
The Democrats will do anything to hurt this president, anything. And what happened before he was elected president, is one thing. But since he's been elected, the economy's done well. Our country's moving ahead. We're in better shape than we were before he became president. And I think we ought to judge him on that basis.
But this is not the Democrats, this is the Southern District of New York, the U.S. Attorney. I mean, that's what's making this allegation.
Do you think he's a Republican, do you?
Well, he's appointed by the president. He's appointed by the president.
Okay, but I don't care. All I can say is he's doing a good job as president.
It doesn't bother you, these crimes that he allegedly was involved in, the president. That doesn't bother you?
No, because I don't think he was involved in crimes. But even then, you can make anything a crime under the current laws. If you want to, you can blow it way out of proportion. You can do a lot of things. All I can say is this. President Trump, before he became president, that's another world. Since he's become president, this economy has charged ahead. We're all better off. The country's better off. And he's done a whale of a job.
And, of course, CNN went from hyperventilating about Trump to hyperventilating about Orrin Hatch saying, I don't care, except...
That was the headline on the Chiron, too. Orrin Hatch doesn't care.
The problem was they picked the wrong person to discuss the Orrin Hatch matter with, because Alan Simpson, who you may remember from just last week eulogizing Bush 41, retired senator from Wyoming, and friend of Orrin Hatch, he came on with Allison Camerata, and I don't think Allison got what she was looking for.
I can tell you one thing that would solve everything. Now, you want to hear this. Every U.S. senator who goes to the Judiciary Committee should have a full FBI investigation from birth until they go on the committee. That'll take care of a lot of this crap.
How would that take care of what we've seen happen with Donald Trump?
You don't go back into the life beyond. You don't go. Hell, when I was 18, I was on federal probation for shooting mailboxes. I fought a cop. I got thrown in the clink and I. Who is this? Whatever happened to the mote in the eye of all these guys who always bitching, whining, moaning? They want a piece of everybody. So let it play out. I'm not going to get into Orrin. I cared deeply for him. I cared deeply for Joe Biden. I loved them all, and I got along with them all, and we made it work. So if you want to pick old scabs, you better pick a new guy to get on the show. Go back and look into Professor Hill and Clarence Thomas. Why don't you leave people alone and go find some new work?
Yeah, I think go find some new work is good advice for Allison Camerata. It certainly would improve cable news, but you could say that about most of CNN's on-air talent.
And then when they were done, they both looked shocked. Like, did he just tell me to find a new job? Like, they're shocked, then immediately threw to commercial.
Allison also doesn't pick up on sarcasm either, so that makes it for a difficult interview. For more on the topic of Trump's alleged crimes, particularly in the campaign finance realm, we're pleased to be joined again by Bradley Smith, who is a law professor and former chairman of the Federal Election Commission. He's also co-author of Voting Rights and Election Law. Bradley, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
So with respect to this campaign finance case and all of this fear over the weekend about, the Southern District of New York is looking to indict President Trump, and so he could be indicted at his first day as ex-president and be sent to jail. And there's this effort, I think, to just kind of keep this cloud over his head and have people debate whether or not this is a campaign finance violation, even if what Cohen said is true, that Trump directed him to make these hush money payments to a couple of ex-paramours, allegedly. Just before we get into the politics of it, what about the law of it? From an FEC perspective, from a law enforcement perspective, if what Cohen said is true, that he was directed by Trump to make the payments that he made voluntarily with his own money, is that an FEC violation subject to criminal penalty?
No, bottom line, it is not. The prosecutor is relying on a language of the statute that says anything for the purpose of influencing an election is a contribution, and therefore these payments would have had to be reported to the Federal Election Commission, and if they were made in cooperation with Trump and for various other reasons, it would be an illegally large contribution to his campaign, right? But the problem is that the statute doesn't really mean that anything that might have the purpose of influencing an election is covered by the act. For example, if a candidate drives to his office in the morning, right, he's got to go to work, start calling people, supporters and stuff, that's not his gas. It's not a campaign expenditure, right? It's clearly for the purpose of getting him elected. When he buys a suit so he can look good on TV, that's not something. And take a more realistic example, if you have a businessman like Trump, somebody like that, they often have a number of lawsuits filed against their companies and so on. If a candidate like this were to come in and say to his corporate lawyer, say, look, I think all these cases are nothing, but I don't want them out there. I don't want the press accusing me of, looking like a heartless tycoon. So I want all these cases settled just because I'm running for office, right? And his lawyer says, no, they're great cases. We're going to win. He says, I know that, but I want them settled because I don't want them out there while I'm running for office. Those settlements would not be campaign expenditures, which, by the way, would allow the businessman to pay his personal lawsuit settlements with campaign funds, which sounds wrong. So from a statutory standpoint, that's wrong. The statute has very specific language elsewhere in it that says the obligation has to arise out of campaign activity, essentially. And having affairs with some women a dozen years before you're going to be the candidate, even if those allegations are true, that doesn't sound like a campaign expenditure. And I just tell people, too, just common sense. You know, when you give money to a political campaign, do you think a campaign expenditure is that they're going to take your money and use it to settle lawsuits or to pay hush money or something like that? And the answer is no. So, you know, it's an unfortunate, personal matter for the president, but it's not a campaign finance violation.
And does it matter? I mean, are they going to follow the money? Because Michael Cohen at first said that he took out a second mortgage on his home to make these payments.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really matter. You know, there arguably could be, and I don't know, you know, all the laws. In fact, I mean, there is so many laws these days, right? There could be some violation of some government ethics rule. There could be some violation of corporate fiduciary duties, you know, some kind of things like that. Cohen might have made, you know, violations of his ethical duties as a lawyer. But those are all different from saying criminal campaign finance violations. That these payments are just not. They are not campaign finance violations.
So
it doesn't really matter where the money came from because it's not a campaign expenditure.
So Southern District of New York is having Cohen plead guilty to something that isn't a crime. I mean, so this is just a way to bootstrap around your interpretation of the statute. We had Cohen plead guilty to it. We think it's a crime. He pled guilty, and now we're going to, plead him out so that he can implicate the person who directed him, allegedly, to commit this illegal act under campaign finance law. How do you address his guilty plea?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. Look, the prosecutor, he does have some statutory language there, which I quoted earlier about for the purpose of influencing a campaign. Again, I think this would not be found a violation by the Federal Election Commission. We note that a very similar charge was made against John Edwards, remember the old Democratic senator back in the 2000s, presidential candidate. And a jury would not convict him on almost an identical theory. Supporters had paid money to a woman he'd had an affair with so that she would stay quiet. The court said not a violation. Cohen, he's facing a long prison sentence. He's a man about 50 years old. He's looking to spend the rest of his life in jail. He didn't want to do that, so he's willing to plead. And this puts the president in the worst possible situation because he's not going to get a trial to sort of clear himself on this because the general norm in the Justice Department is that you don't indict a sitting president. So for the prosecutor in Southern District, this is great, right? He doesn't have to prove his case, and he doesn't have to get a judge to rule on whether his theory makes any sense or not as a matter of law. He's got the indictment out there, and now we can't do anything about it until Trump leaves office. It's the best case scenario for him, and in a way, the worst case scenario for Trump.
So today's the day of reckoning for Michael Cohen. It's his sentencing hearing. What do you think is going to happen? How much time do you think? I know everyone's saying 42 months, but is that right?
Oh, I really couldn't say on that. But certainly, I think the important thing here is, had he not plea bargained, he would have been facing decades, literally, in prison for some of the things that he's charged with, which do seem to be crimes. And I think from his standpoint, he was like, "Yeah, I'll plead to this if you're going to lower my sentence." And he knows, right? The prosecutor wants the big fish.
How does the FEC use its discretionary power when it comes to very similar incidents? So, for example, something on the order of 7 figures worth of contributions not properly reported by the Obama campaign, that's a fine. Somebody makes a structured campaign donation to mask the actual donor's identity, and in Dinesh D'Souza's case, it's a felony prosecution. In other cases, it's a fine. So, the equal justice before the law when it comes to campaign finance rules and statutes. How do you address that?
Well, the Federal Election Commission, which I serve as chairman of, only handles civil cases. That is, cases that are generally filed with or handled with a fine. And when it's not believed that the person intentionally violated the law, but they'd made various kind of errors, mistakes, something like that. Criminal penalties come in only when there is what's called a knowing and willful violation. And the norm is that all complaints go through the FEC. And if the FEC thinks it was a knowing and willful violation, then it turns it over to the Department of Justice, which hands out to the U.S. attorneys for possible prosecution. But what happened in both the D'Souza case and in this case is the Department of Justice went out on its own without an FEC referral and without a complaint from anybody and just started investigating this stuff. And they think there's criminal charges, and they brought criminal charges. And I think, one area that, generally I have a great deal of respect for most prosecutors, but I'll tell you, prosecutors, a lot of them are politically ambitious people. And boy, they see that chance that, I'm going to be the next Tom Dewey or, great crime fighter, right?
Yeah.
If I can nail this politician for corruption.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to. That's an important point about what the norm is with FEC and its relationship to prosecutors and how that norm was violated in both of those cases, but particularly the case at bar. He's Bradley Smith, law professor, former chairman of the FEC, co-author of the book Voting Rights and Election Law. Bradley Smith, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Folks, by the way, can read more about this at the website of the Institute for Free Speech. That's www.ifs.org. Thanks very much.
ifs.org. Got it. Thanks, Bradley.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Lawmakers ready to vote on a massive new farm bill. The EPA rolling back Obama-era regulations to open wetlands for agricultural use. Those stories next.
Are you a stock or options trader looking for real trading strategies that you can use immediately? Hi, my name is Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, and I'm on a mission to become the #1 options coach in America. I'm a former vice president at Goldman Sachs. I have over 25 years of options trading experience, and right now, I'm giving away my most famous options guide with over 20 unique options strategies that I use every day for free. You can't buy this guide anywhere. To claim your free options trading guide, simply call 855-892-2307 now and mention my name, Scott Bauer, and we will rush you the guide. Call 855-892-2307, and someone from my options team will help you get this guide in your inbox as quickly as possible. Call 855-892-2307 now and start learning to trade the right way. Call 855-892-2307. 2307. Prosper with options.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
After months of negotiations, congressional lawmakers poised to vote on an $867 billion farm bill. That vote coming as early as today. The bill reauthorizing crop insurance and conservation programs, as well as legalizing the cultivation of industrial hemp. However, Congress did remove new work requirements the president wanted for able-bodied food stamp recipients. The Environmental Protection Agency rolling back Obama-era regulations for wetlands and waterways, which it says were an obstacle to farmers and businesses alike. With the EPA move, certain wetlands will be opened up for agricultural use. Economic reports due out today include the U.S. Treasury's release of the federal budget numbers for the month of November. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey guys, we know it's hard to be perfect, right? Especially when it comes to finding that great Christmas gift for your wife or girlfriend. But rest assured, we've got the perfect gift. It's the Perfect 10 pajamas from Pajamagram. Because she's a perfect 10. And shouldn't her pajamas be? It's a silky, smooth feeling. It's a gentle, relaxing touch. Oh, it's the perfect pajamas. Lifetime guarantee. Gift wrapping. Every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging, I should say. And delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. Plus, they're backed by the lifetime guarantee, so you risk nothing. The Perfect 10 pajamas are destined to sell out before Christmas, so get your Pajamagram right now. Go to pajamagram.com. I'm getting all choked up. Or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. That's 1-800-GIVE-PJs. And tell them Dan and Amy sent you.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. The end is near. No, not doom and gloom. The end of the year is almost here. What does that mean, Leslie?
New Year's resolutions? The desire to make changes?
Absolutely. So right now is the perfect time to plan ahead. Why wait? Make a resolution now to meet with our team at Wealth Management Group.
Make an appointment today at investwithwmg.com. That's investwithwmg.com. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning. And this show, including in our long-form interview series Against the Current, you want to check out our latest edition with Don Hayter, Professor Emeritus at Kellogg Business School, Northwestern, who the last serious, really, Republican candidate to run for mayor of Chicago in 1987. He's got a lot of expertise and insight on city finances in the context of this upcoming mayor's race in particular. A lot of good ideas and a lot of great history on both parties. Don Hayter, a lot of great institutional knowledge. Check that out at Against the Current at upstream-ideas.com. And share your story about property taxation in Illinois, how it's impacting your home, your finances, your future here. SaveYourHomeNow.org. SaveYourHomeNow.org, all the property tax info, and upstream-ideas.com for the Hayter interview.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie capsules contain 100% vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind. And it is undeniably one of the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water, some a little higher, some a little lower. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to take out the water and air, leaving only whole food, which maintains 99.9% of its original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health. Make sense? To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
It's my favorite time of the day. Favorite segment.
Time now for another reason why Dan Proft is single.
And this is Dan on Dan telling me why Dan Proft is single.
Well, I suppose it has something to do with this disturbing breakup. Amanda Teague, 46 years old, from Ireland, married less than a year to a 300-year-old pirate ghost.
A pirate ghost?
Yeah, Haitian pirate named Jack. They married earlier this year on a boat in international waters. And they're calling it quits after less than a year.
Wait, was she the one that was on Good Day Australia or something? We had audio of her. She married ghosts, right?
I
can't keep them.
I can't keep track of every celebrity marriage. She said, I'll explain in due course, but for now all I want to say is to be very careful when dabbling in spirituality. It's not something to mess with. One could say the same about marriage. And, this is another hit for Jack, who was purportedly executed for thieving on the high seas back in the 1700s. So I guess my point is, if a couple like that can't make it, then what chance would I have?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Crossfire, Trump, Pelosi, Pagliacci style at 7:07.
And later, a tearful goodbye for Kathy Lee Gifford. Oh, you're going to love this one, Dan. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Saying hi to the birthday boy, big 5'5" today. Here's Mike Scott.
Double nickel. Slippery roads continue on the morning commute in some spots. We'll tell you where. Man stabbed to death in the South Shore. Chicago police continue to investigate. Mayor Emanuel lobbies for an increase in the state's gasoline tax. Blackhawks drop an 8th straight in the loss to the Jets. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
The president's former fixer is sentenced today. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News' Michael Cohen will be in a courtroom in New York City where Fox's Tanya J. Powers is live.
Federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York have asked the judge to give Michael Cohen substantial prison time for his guilty plea for crimes including breaking campaign finance laws. Now, Cohen has admitted to orchestrating hush money payments to two women who say they had sexual encounters with President Trump. He says they never happened. Under federal sentencing guidelines, Cohen could get around 4 years in prison. Now, Cohen has also pleaded guilty to lying to Congress. While Manhattan prosecutors say he failed to fully cooperate with their case, prosecutors in the special counsel's investigation say Cohen has gone to great lengths to cooperate with them. Chris?
Tanya, thank you. Witnesses say a man who shot and killed 3 people at a Christmas market in Strasbourg, France, yelled, "God is great" in Arabic during the attack. At least 13 people are wounded. President Trump tweets, "Another very bad terror attack in France. We are going to strengthen our borders even more." The suspect, though, was actually a local man now on the run, Sharif Shakat, 29 years old. He was on a terrorist watch list, suspected of having been radicalized in prison doing time for robbery. He was currently already wanted for attempted murder during a botched robbery. He got away after being shot in the arm by police responding to the market attack. The British Prime Minister, Theresa May, is fighting for her job. Fox's Simon Owens live in London to talk about the vote called for this evening in Parliament.
Chris, Theresa May speaking in Parliament here.
The Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This after it was announced she'll face a vote of no confidence in a few hours' time.
We need to ensure that we do not increase uncertainty and create more uncertainty.
May saying she will contest the vote with everything she's got. It's been called by lawmakers in her own party unhappy at her handling of Brexit divorce negotiations as Britain looks at leaving the European Union. Chris?
Fox's Simon Owen in London. Thank you. This is Fox News.
.34 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. No one in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. Authorities say a man was fighting with a woman early this morning in the hallway of an apartment building near 77th and Essex when the woman stabbed him in the chest. The victim later died at a nearby hospital. Investigators believe that incident is domestic related. A pregnant woman is in critical condition after being shot in the head in Round Lake. Shooting happened yesterday at a home on Nippersink Road. One person of interest was taken into custody. It's the news that 21-year-old Daniel Baker's family never wanted to hear. Pentagon yesterday ending its search for Baker and 4 other Marines, declaring them all dead after a plane crash in the Sea of Japan last week. Baker is from Tremont in Peoria County. Says his family says he loved them, loved the Lord, and loved his country. Funeral arrangements are pending. Mayor Emanuel is calling for a 20 to 30 cents a gallon increase in the state's gas tax.
Costs have gone up, usage has gone up, and the resources to invest have stayed stagnant. That's unsustainable.
The lame duck mayor stood alongside a small group of suburban mayors yesterday, arguing he needs the extra funding to pay for road improvements. Illinois has not had an increase since 1990 in the gas tax, but already has one of the highest gas taxes in the nation. Plus, there's a hidden charge, a 6.25 sales tax on gas at the pump. That adds about 20 cents a gallon, what you pay. Chicago sports, Blackhawks doubled up by Winnipeg, 6-3. White Sox add a right-hander to the back end of the rotation, acquiring Ivan Nova from the Pirates yesterday at the winter meetings. And Bear slot cornerback Bryce Callahan has broken his foot. He'll be out for about 6 weeks. The News is a service of Napa Auto Parts. From now through December, Napa is having its biggest holiday sale ever with hundreds of items at their best prices of the year. Items like a Bluetooth speaker with an LED light system for only $29.99. Only at Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how while supplies last. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
All right, if your roof's needy, you can call Crumweedy. Hey, Sean Hannity here. If your roof is leaky, if the shingles are curling, or if your roof isn't right after storms, then you need to call Crumweedy with roofing companies, and the difference is, of course, installation. Now, Crumweedy, they know that, and that's why they follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact, and many companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty. If you hate high-pressure sales tactics, not from Crumweedy. They give you good good, better, best options. You make the choice, no pressure. Crum-Weedy is a roof that lasts at a fair price. Now, Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crum-Weedy, they lead this third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953. Now, they fix roof problems, so if your roof is needy,
Call Crum-Weedy.
That's 630-595-8020. That's 630-595-8020. They're online, of course, at myroofisneedy.com.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Are you a fiduciary? If you're the owner or officer of a company sponsoring a corporate retirement plan, then you are a fiduciary. Why is this important? As a fiduciary, you may be held personally liable for breaches in your 401k plan. There has been a recent surge in lawsuits related to excessive fees and fiduciary breaches targeting 401k plans, their owners, and officers. One of our newest charity golf benefactors, Clear Financial Strategies, is your retirement plan CFO, bringing together a specialized fiduciary compliance and management team to help prevent potential lawsuits, all at competitive costs. Discover if your 401k contains any hidden fees or risks, and how Clear Financial Strategies is a registered investment advisor that's a true fiduciary. Professionals placing your interests first. I suggest you request Clear Financial Strategies custom report on company retirement plan risks. Visit my401krisks.com. That's my401krisks.com. Do it today, my401krisks.com.
There's still a chance to give the gift of a Peloton bike. When you order the bike by 12/20, you get a free welcome gift, so you'll still have Peloton under the tree this holiday. See onepeloton.com. That's onepeloton.com, or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oak Brook Center, and Westfield Old Orchard.
7:07, the news, a service of Accountemps. Highly skilled finance professionals and accounting pros. Finding them can be a challenge. Accountemps can help with extensive networks of accounting and finance contractors. You can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. Check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
In Elgin, 20 is closed between Shannon Parkway and Long Common. Esler is closed between 20 and Gansett Parkway due to a major crash. In Volo, a gas leak has Fish Lake Road shut down with Gilbert at 60. Eden's inbound is 25 minutes. Lake Cook Junction outbound 21. Kennedy inbound delays start at Canfield. It's an hour. O'Hare to downtown, 28 minutes from Montrose, 25 on the Express. Eisenhower, 50 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 28 minutes, 90 to the Merge. Bishopport, 38. On Tri-State heavy, Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Traffic's heavy on the northbound Veterans Memorial, approaching the Reagan Tollway. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
A bit of snow and rain at times this morning, maybe some freezing drizzle too. Little or no accumulation, otherwise clouds today, high 38. Cloudy for tonight and a low at 26. Clouds again tomorrow and a daytime high of 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
34 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Rusty Reno, writing over at First Things, in review of Presidents Bush 41, Clinton, and now Trump, concluded his piece. And Reno, not necessarily any big fan of Donald Trump, okay? First Things, a conservative Christian outlet. Let's leave aside the questions of whether we respect, like, or agree with Trump. Political honesty means telling the voters who you are and what you promise to do, and then governing as that person and in accord with those promises. By this measure, Trump is the most honest political figure of his generation. Trump is the most honest political figure of his generation in comparing him to his predecessor, W., Bill Clinton, and Bush 41, who we just memorialized last week. Do you agree with that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Just remember that Reno observation about what political honesty means, and by that measure, that standard, how Trump measures up to the politicians, the presidents of his generation. Keep that in mind as we go through that little contretemps that occurred between President Trump, Pagliacci, and Pelosi yesterday over border wall funding and the quote-unquote government shutdown, which means the temporary furlough of 15% of non-essential federal government workers.
Oh, and just in time for Christmas. I mean, they brought that up like, oh, it's Christmas time and people aren't going to have a paycheck, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I thought it was a moment of transparency. Did you?
It was a conversation that was not prepared. It was not pre-planned.
They didn't see it coming, Schumer and Pelosi.
Which is why it was kind of fun.
Border security is a way to effectively honor our
And
responsibility.
the experts say you can do border security without a wall, which is wasteful and doesn't solve the problem.
It totally solves
But
the
I don't wanna
problem.
take this.
And it's very
Unfortunately,
important.
this has spiraled downward when we came at a place to say, how do we meet the needs of American people who have needs? The economy has, people are losing their jobs, the market's in a mood. Our members are already
Well,
left
we have the
their
lowest
homes.
unemployment that we've had in 50 years.
60 people of the Republican Party have lost their
Republican
their
politicians
offices
lost
now
their
because
jobs.
of
That's
the
what Pelosi's
transition.
worried about,
They're-
right.
People are not, the
And
morale
we've gained
is
in the
not
Senate.
up.
Nancy,
The
we've
morale
gained in the Senate. Excuse me,
now-
did we win the Senate?
is
We
not
won the
in
Senate.
When the president brags that he won North Dakota and Indiana, he's in real trouble.
When I
did.
Let me say this.
We did win
Let me say this.
North Dakota
This
and
is the
Indiana.
most unfortunate thing. We came in here in good faith, and we're entering into this kind of a discussion in the public view.
But it's not bad, Nancy.
Exactly. Nancy doesn't look good in public view is what she's saying, and I can see the point.
And she said 3 times, because I watched that twice, that whole interaction, because I found it fascinating, especially trying to figure out what Mike Pence was doing. But she said 3 times that, why don't we discuss this and then we'll talk to the press? Because she's never had this happen before.
I liked it better. I liked it
Yeah.
better out in the open, and I'm glad Trump kept him there. And every time they tried to take a little shot at him, he fired right back. And when Pagliacci said, basically, you'll own the quote-unquote government shutdown, Trump said, fine, Chuck, I will.
At this uncertain time in their lives,
The
where
one
they have
thing I think we
apprehension-
can agree on is we shouldn't shut down the government over a dispute. And you want to shut it down. You keep talking about
The
it.
last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened
20
it up very
times.
quickly. And
20 times.
I don't want to do what you did.
20
But,
times
Chuck,
you have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my wool. None of us have
You
said.
want to know something?
You've said
okay,
it.
you want to put that on
You've
my...
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And
We
I am
disagree.
proud, and I'll
We
tell you
disagree.
what, I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting down.
That is
And I'm going to
luxury.
shut it down for border
But we
security.
believe you shouldn't shut
Okay.
it down.
But the
Thank you very much, everybody.
See ya.
So what about that, Trump? I'll take the onus. I'll take the ownership. I'm not going to blame anybody. If you're not going to support a few $1 billion for border wall funding, then yes, I will not move on the half a dozen appropriations bills that are left to move on. I'll move on most of them, farm bill, so forth, which is a whole other issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the temporary furlough of very small percentage of the federal government that's not on autopilot, that both sides like to wring their hands over rather than explain at room temperature to the American people. Mitch McConnell, a little jumpy about it, saying one thing I think is pretty clear: no matter who precipitates the government shutdown, is the American people don't like it, so he hopes it will be avoided. Well, maybe they need to start liking it. Maybe they need to understand that somebody's got to draw a line and man the line, not only at the border, but politically in D.C., if you want system change, if you want some drainage of the swamp that you voted for. And so is Trump right to take ownership of any government shutdown that may come to pass? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer.
And just real quickly about that meeting, Nancy Pelosi, she didn't get it. I mean, President Trump said, because she kept saying, well, if you take it to the House floor, if you take it right now, you can get this passed. And he said, no, I know we have the majority right now in the House, but in the Senate, I need 10 Democrats to vote with the Republicans. And she didn't get that. He explained that to her 3 times, and she still didn't get it.
Well, she just doesn't want to get it. She wants him to, take his chances in the House and to see if it can be blocked in the House so he doesn't have the Senate as an excuse. And he's right to say, why should I even bother with the House when I know I don't have 60 in the Senate?
And he kept saying that, and she just couldn't process it.
The other thing, too, in terms of Pelosi, this report was that after in their closed-door meeting, she came out and she was talking about Trump. It's like a manhood thing with him, as if manhood can be associated with him.
I hear some of the reporters saying, Fox reporters saying, why did we not want transparency in this discussion? We didn't want to contradict the president when he was putting forth figures that had no reality to them, no basis in fact. We have to, if we're going to proceed in all of this, have evidence-based, factual, truthful information about what works and what doesn't. I didn't want to, in front of those people, say, you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, she wanted to spare President Trump's feelings and his public perception.
She didn't want to embarrass him, Dan.
I'm sorry, the D.C. press corps, with the follow-up, what facts and figures specifically? Oh, no follow-up.
No follow-up.
No surprise. Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks, Dan and Amy, for taking my call. I heard you this discussion when you opened up at 5 o'clock. It was excellent, and I've seen you return to it. One thing you need to do, your producers need to do, is find the sound bites from Hillary, President Obama, and also especially Schumer on how anti-illegal and immigration, they were all supportive of border control, even building the wall. Trump missed the opportunity. He should have asked Schumer point blank, when did you Democrats flip on this issue?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Bob. Yeah, we've played those clips before. And, the real thing that Trump needs to do here is expose them for not being interested in border security. We're for border security. We're not for the wall. The wall doesn't work. I'll tell you what, Chuck. Let's say the wall doesn't work. It does, because barriers work. They work at the Mexican-Guatemalan border. They work around the Vatican. They work around
Israel.
They work in Israel. They work in your neighborhood. They do work. It's not a panacea, and we're not advertising it as a panacea. It's just another layer of defense. So let's see, Chuck, if the American people want to roll the dice on, let's say, $5 billion of their money out of a $4 trillion budget for walls where there are not walls right now, and there could be, to enhance border security. Let's see if they want to roll the dice. Make that bet. Because you need to expose them as not being interested in border security, number one, being interested only in preventing President Trump from getting a symbolic victory and delivering on a campaign promise. And that's why he's going to the mat on this, and he should. Margot in Burr Ridge.
I thought it was brilliant. This is exactly why I voted for Trump. You can put all the nice gentlemen up there that you want, Mitt Romney, George Bush, George W. Bush, all of that, but they're never going to win against people that are playing with a whole different set of rules. And Trump called him on the rules. When Nancy started lying, he called her on it. We need that. We need a junkyard dog, and that is what we got, because that's what we need right now. And because you got to get these people have to be tamed. They are just lying every time they want to lie. They just lie. They have no problem with it whatsoever. And he showed that. I mean, that was exposed for everybody to see, and they just couldn't wait to get it behind closed doors. They kept saying, well, we should discuss this, not in the public. Let's get the reporters out of here. Well, that was so great. I was killing myself laughing because they couldn't wait to get behind closed doors so that they could not be shown for what they are. And he did it. I was proud of him.
Thanks for the call, Margo. Yeah, right. Get behind closed doors so we can pretend to have a meeting. Then we can come out and snipe at you, and nobody will know what was actually said or not said. How about we do it right here, right in front of everybody? I agree. I do. I mean, I wish Trump is sometimes better prepared, but I love the fact that he brings these people out into the light of day where they do not show well. Raphael in Pharr, Texas.
Good morning. Yeah, I love the debate they had yesterday, live, with the cameras around, nothing to hide. It made look Trump like the man in charge. And Nancy and Schumer were the obstructionists. He was willing to get something done, and they were not. And I think Nancy was trying to shut everything off because they were losing that battle, for one. But I think Trump did make a great move by bringing in the photographers and the cameras and stuff, and have a debate that the American people can see. It's no longer behind closed doors, and I loved it. I loved Trump. I mean, he was excellent.
Thanks for the call, Raphael.
I think he did everything by the book.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Jeff in Gurnee.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy.
Morning.
Actually, it's not Jeff from Gurnee anymore. It's Jeff from Plano, Texas.
No.
I finally bailed out of that Secaucus state.
Another one gone, but still listening via the app.
Plano,
We appreciate
Texas.
that.
Absolutely. I got the AM 560 app, and me and my wife and the kids listen to it every morning, religiously.
Jeff in Plano, Texas.
So guess what?
How
He's going to have
envious
some
am I? Yeah.
Plano fun, they always say, huh?
Well, anyway, I was listening the other day, and Lindsey Graham had it best and basically said, roll DACA into the border wall, and then turn everything onto the Democrats and let them say no to it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Thanks for the call, Jeff, from Plano, Texas now.
Where they have some Plano fun.
Oh, boy. But that's a good point he brings up about Graham reasserting that, because that's what Trump was referencing when he and Schumer got into it about the last shutdown, and it was DACA was on the table and Schumer wouldn't take it. Well, let's have a repeat of that. Put DACA right back on the table and attach border wall funding to it, and again, show yourself willing to make a responsible deal where there is interest in both sides of that among the electorate writ large, just not among the Democrats and the Democrat socialist base of that party. Yeah, I like that. I agree. James in Westmont.
For the record, I am still in Westmont.
Yeah, for now.
Sadly. Yeah. Anyway, I understand what was Pagliacci's swipe. This is coming from a president who brags about winning North Dakota and Indiana. What was all that about? And, which obviously had nothing to do with the conversation. It was another deflection, but what was his point with that?
Yeah, I guess his point was, those are red states, so of course you should win those states. Well, it's funny, Chuck. We took out 2 Democrat incumbents, so that Democrats do win in those states, number one. And, oh, by the way, Chuck, President Obama won Indiana the first go-around. So, yeah, I think Chuck is still smarting over his losses in the Senate, is what I'd say.
He was so
Thanks, James.
smarmy. I mean, he just I couldn't stand him.
That's who he is.
I know, but I really wanted to reach through the TV and smack him.
I'm just glad we didn't have more crocodile tears from Pagliacci. That's really uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Tom in Schaumburg.
I don't know if anybody out there reads Judicial Wash by Tom Fitton, but he's reporting 22 million illegal aliens already in this country, currently costing us $140 billion a year, year after year. The Democrats tell us spending $5 or $10 or $20 billion on a wall is a total waste of money. It's much better to spend $140 billion a year on 22 million illegal aliens. And we don't need a wall anyway. All we need is a couple stop signs, because that's what the Democrats say will work. They have absolutely no brains in their head, and they're going to lose on this issue.
Thanks, Tom.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The following is a paid announcement.
Now, Geiger Wealth brings you Retire with Confidence.
Thanks for joining us today, where once a week we get together to talk about retirement planning. Bill Geiger, welcome. I know that your firm focuses on working with couples in their late 50s to early 60s, preparing them to retire with confidence. So what exactly should they be doing differently at this stage of their lives?
Mike, if you're a couple in your late 50s to early 60s, you really have two big jobs to do right now. The first one is to make sure you don't have a big loss. This close to your retirement, if you think about it, Mike, at this stage of their life, most couples have more money than they've ever had before. And it kind of makes sense, right? And the last thing that they want at this stage of their life, this close to retirement, is to have a big loss, a 2008 type loss, for instance.
That could be devastating, Bill.
Absolutely, for obvious reasons, but also at this stage of your life, your second big job is you want to begin developing a source of dependable, sustainable income that you know how you're going to pay your bills for the rest of your life. And if you have that big loss, you may not have the monies available to set up that source of dependable, sustainable income. So the two big jobs that you have, to summarize, is one, protect what you have. Don't have a big loss. Number two, begin developing a dependable, sustainable income stream that you can count on for the rest of your life. So you know how you're going to pay your bills, you can keep from running out of money, and you can leave a legacy. That's retiring with confidence. Mike, I know you're going to talk about this in just a moment, but for the next 5 couples who call in today who have at least $500,000 in their retirement portfolio, we're going to do, on a complimentary basis, a full-blown retirement plan for them. We're going to work with them on how to set up a plan so they know how to protect what they have, so they know how to create a dependable, sustainable income stream, and so they know, maybe for the first time ever, have that confidence to know that they have a game plan to move themselves into retirement.
Bill, this is a fantastic opportunity because, folks, nothing can be more frustrating than working hard your entire life, saving as much as possible for retirement, then having no idea how you're going to make your life savings last 20 to 30 years or more. Bill and his team at Geiger Wealth can help. They're going to sit down with you personally to create a full-blown plan for your retirement. Folks, this is up to a $3,000 value. It's complimentary for the next 5 couples who have at least $500,000 saved for retirement. Call 800-681-2498. Again, that's 800-681-2498. Together with you, Bill and his team are going to sit down and translate the complex financial planning process into easy-to-understand steps with a roadmap to help you get to where you need to be. Call Geiger Wealth right now for your complimentary, personalized, full-blown retirement plan. 800-681-2498. That's 800-681-2498.
Geiger Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance offered through DeBlanco Inc.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Winners don't wait for chances. They take them, seizing opportunities that come their way, having the courage necessary to make the game-winning play when it's all on the line. It's what sets us apart from the rest. Your home for Husky basketball is right here on the Northern Illinois Husky Sports Network.
The Huskies take on the Western Illinois Leathernecks this Monday night at 8. Don't miss a minute of NIU basketball on AM 560, The Answer. AM 560, The Answer.
Listen up. How would you like to have your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year? And this is unbelievable. Well, that could happen if you enter and win our Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest that runs now through December 20th. But you can only win if you enter, and to do that, you need to go to 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword miracle. That's 560theanswer.com, keyword miracle, to enter for a chance to have your mortgage or rent paid for all of 2019. This seriously is the best contest we've ever had.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
Yeah, and you're financing it, right? Yeah.
No, I'm trying to worry financing my own.
Can we enter to win?
We cannot.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Be Ginger Sappington will be my different name.
If you quit and entered and won, it probably would work out better for you financially than working here. Just trying to run the numbers.
Yeah, just try. Yeah.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, with the property taxes. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at that. That's
is
a close
it the rent
call.
and mortgage without the Illinois property taxes included?
Oh, that's not.
That's part of the rent. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just forward on your mortgage invoice.
Oh my gosh,
So
it's
with
the best.
property
Again,
taxes rolled in.
560theanswer.com, keyword miracle. It will be a miracle. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Score one for Kudlow and Trump. China announces a reduction in auto tariffs. We'll take our lumps from Steve Moore at 7:37.
And later, how Coors Light will help you live longer. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Lex.
Skies are cloudy, 34 degrees. 5 are in custody of French police. They're connected with yesterday's attack on the Strasbourg Christmas market. This Dutch politician in the European Parliament was near where the shooting took place.
We have all been locked up, so to speak. The whole Parliament has been locked.
The actual shooter is still on the run. Officials say he may have fled across the border into Germany. NBC's Richard Engel is in Paris.
The Paris prosecutor just identified, partially by name, the suspect as Sharif C. This suspect had been known as a criminal. Police raided his home in connection with a burglary. During the search, they found grenades.
The suspect opened fire on the popular market in the city center. Authorities say they know exactly who the shooter is, and he has a long list of crimes on his record. Conservative Party officials say British Prime Minister Theresa May will face a no-confidence vote in her leadership. In this country, 2 U.S. senators from Ohio are demanding General Motors build all of its electric vehicles for the U.S. market in the U.S. Republican Senator Rob Portman sent a letter to GM's executive Mary Barra that was also signed by Democrat Sherrod Brown. They're asking for more details on plans to cut back on car production in North America. CBS News has settled a lawsuit by 3 women accusing veteran host Charlie Rose of sexually harassing them. The suit claimed Rose made physical contact with the women, including caressing, touching, and kissing them, and that CBS was fully aware of his behavior. The magnitude 4.4 earthquake that struck in Tennessee this morning is the second strongest quake to be felt in the eastern portion of that state. Strongest ever to hit was a magnitude 4.7 quake near Maryville in 1973. There's a university in Southern California this morning giving final exams off campus because of mass shooting threats. Cal State Northridge says beginning this morning it will administer final exams in off-campus sites after receiving its second threat in less than 1 week. No one is in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood near 77th and Essex. A pregnant woman remains in critical condition after being shot in the head in Round Lake. Mayor Emanuel wants a 20 to 30 cents a gallon increase in the state's gas tax. Meantime, candidates running to replace the lame duck mayor are getting a chance to share their views with the voters. Nearly a dozen took part in 2 different forums last night at the UIC Pavilion and the Copernicus Center. Winnipeg over the Blackhawks 6-3. White Sox add Ivan Nova to their starting rotation, putting a trade together at the winter meetings with the Pirates. And the Cubs are losing bench coach Brandon Hyde. He may be the new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. The news service of Peloton, the perfect gift for them and you. There's still a chance to give the gift of a Peloton bike When you order the bike by 12/20, you get a free welcome gift. So you'll still have Peloton under the tree this holiday. See onepeloton.com, onepeloton.com, or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oak Brook Center, or Westfield, Old Orchard. 7:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager has a simple test to check moral clarity.
This is another exam that I would like to give to help determine a person's thinking. Like, do you support all black dormitories on college campuses? Do you think Israel is the villain in the Middle East? There are some very clarifying conscience and moral compass issues.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you looking for the perfect gift? I hope you'll check out Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. I love these guys. Mike Gallagher here at Roland's. Not only do they care about making America great again, they also care about making your holiday moments memorable. You know, buying jewelry is about trust. Roland's is the go-to place. You're going to see why when you visit RolandsJewelers.com or head to downtown Libertyville to work with them in person. It's no hassle. They'll show you pieces from the top designers, Simon G, with beautiful pendants. The Hearts on Fire diamond earrings are a great choice. Italian designer Roberto Coin's collection is gorgeous. Ken over at Roland's is offering up to $500 for AM 560 The Answer listeners. Not just for jewelry, but luxury timepieces, like the watch I wear from Roland's, Shinola, or Longines, or Tag Heuer. Your choice. Roland's Jewelers makes your gift giving easy. RolandsJewelers.com. Let them help you in store in downtown Libertyville. Roland's Jewelers is a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chris Veldman of ServiceMaster DSI, the largest ServiceMaster franchise in the United States and a customer of Signature Bank. In our business, we respond to disaster, and we never know when disaster will strike, whether it's flooding in Louisiana or a house fire in Chicago. Not all banks understand that need for flexibility, but Signature Bank does. That's why we consider them so much more than a bank. They have been our business partner since 2006, when their three co-founders, Mick, Kevin, and Brian, started the bank. Signature Bank is a key part of our growth strategy at ServiceMaster DSI.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:37 and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Southbound Tri-State traffic stop and go. 159th, 163rd Street toll with a crash in the left lane. Northbound delays, Harlem to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Veterans Memorial, it's slow going. Mountain Toll to the Reagan Tollway. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 25 from Montrose, 22 in the Express. Eisenhower, 48 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 43. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 32 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop Ford, 42 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Elgin, 20 remains closed in Long Common and Shannon to a major wreck. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, bit of snow and rain this morning. Watch out for some freezing drizzle as well. High 38. Currently, we have 36 degrees at O'Hare, and there is some light drizzle falling in several spots across the area. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And on Sunday on Chris Walsh's program, Larry Kudlow, Trump's chief economic advisor, was on. to talk about China and trade and tariffs. And he pushed back against this characterization by Wallace that, this 90-day truce that begins, the clock starts to tick on Jan 1. What does it really mean? There's sort of these nebulous promises from China about reducing tariff and trade barriers, but how serious are they? Kudlow had a specific pushback saying this.
Here was the Chinese Commerce Department announcement, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. China will immediately implement specific issues that have been agreed upon by agriculture products, energy, and automobiles. Automobile tariffs announcements going to come from the State Council Tariff Commission. As I said earlier, it was also announced that a number of Chinese government agencies and the Supreme Court are looking at new laws to prevent intellectual property theft. These are very strong indications. President Trump himself, I remember he called me early Thursday morning to say, did you see that announcement? Did you see that announcement? And I did, and I think it's very positive. Really, we're making more progress now on more specific issues than ever before. Now, let me just add quickly, trust but verify. That's very important.
Right, and I've always held out hope that we would get to where Trump and Kudlow said we're trying to get to, in spite of Lighthizer and Navarro, because of Larry Kudlow. Because I believe Larry Kudlow, and I know that he is a dyed in the wool, I should say, supply-sider. And yesterday, the big announcement, and it is a big announcement, it is a score one for Kudlow and Trump. Beijing saying it will reduce tariffs on U.S. autos to 15%, down from 40%. That's a big deal. And so, hey, if we get to not a zero, because that's utopian, but lower tariff, lower trade barrier, lower subsidies environment, and it's not the way that I would have approached it. I would do it unilaterally. Gets there faster. But if we get there, and particularly in spite of protectionists like Peter Navarro and Robert Lighthizer bouncing around, then all the better, and all the better for America. So I tip my cap to Larry Kudlow and President Trump. This is a substantive move. Now, again, we don't know when that tariff reduction is going to take place, so it's still the same position Larry Kudlow said, trust but verify. But it is a good indication that maybe some substantive reductions in those barriers and changes in the relationship between U.S. and China for economic reasons is happening.
Good. That's what you wanted. Because you were hard on Trump when the tariff war began because it seemed unnecessary, and hopefully it's going in the right direction.
No, but
hopefully the markets will,
respond
accordingly. Yes, exactly.
Now, on the flip side, this farm bill that's making its way to the president's desk is, more of the same catastrophe, where you have poorer farmers and all taxpayers really subsidizing richer farmers. There's a good piece in National Review about the farm bill. It's just more lard for both parties to satisfy dependent constituencies. So that's an example of not lowering the subsidies in terms of that zero tariff, zero subsidy environment that we want to get to, that supposedly is the administration's goal. So that's less good. Okay. And then on the other front that we need to tackle today, because of the rare appearance by anyone of significance from Google before Congress, Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google, and this is an issue that's been taken up, of course, by President Trump. He's made overtures about looking at these huge social media companies, including Google and Facebook and Twitter. Sundar Pichai before Congress yesterday, and just a little bit of backdrop in terms of who we're talking about. Here's Sundar Pichai at the post-2016 election Google Confab Cryfest drum circle, where Sergey and Larry, I'm going to talk about Russian collusion, Sergey Brin, and Sundar and all of the executives assembled with 1,000 or so Google employees to commiserate about Trump's victory. Here's Sundar Pichai barely able to get through addressing the audience in the wake of Trump's victory.
There is a lot of fear within Google. I've gotten a lot of emails, to my note back. I would tell most Googlers there are people who are very afraid. And Sergey pointed out the, many groups, women, blacks, people who are afraid based on religion, people who are afraid because they are not sure of their status, the LGBTQ community, and I can go on. There is a lot of fear, and so I think it's important to reach out, be aware of that fear. I would be sensitive and try and talk and have conversations to the extent possible. We are so deeply committed to our values. Sergey mentioned at the start, nothing will change. I think we'll stand up always for the values we believe in. And especially, I think, in a society, you stand up for people who are minorities. And that's what defines a society. And we'll continue to do that.
Yeah, and then other people had their turn at the wheel to cry. But here's the thing, Pichai before Congress yesterday saying, look, number one, that employee who said Google worked to turn out the Latino vote was lying. No one person can manipulate search results. He suggested that, a bit disingenuously, but most members of Congress are so stupid they don't know what the point is. He made the point that there are two main ad accounts linked to Russia advertised on Google for about $4,700 total in 2016. It's very much like the Facebook campaign. In terms of actual spend, it's negligible. But there was so much that was done that was not formally paid for. And that's the real issue. It's not what these phony baloney companies actually spent. They didn't get very far on that. And then there's an exchange with Steve King and Sundar that I want to get to. But I want to give our friend Steve Moore the opportunity to gloat a little bit. CNN chief economist Steve Moore joins us now. Steve, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. We were just talking before you got here about score one for Kudlow and Trump, the reduction announced in Chinese tariffs on U.S. autos from 40 to 15%. Okay, that's progress.
Dan's happy.
Well, look, I think the president is on a bit of a roll. I thought he certainly got the best of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer yesterday, if you saw that little sprawl. Yeah. And, if we can get the one thing, in fact, our Laffer and I had the occasion to go in and see the president yesterday, so we chatted with him about where he stands on this trade stuff. He was very optimistic that we are going to get a deal done with China, that we're going to see something done on the auto tariffs. And by the way, if he can pull off the China trade deal, and I'd put the odds of that at maybe 70%, the economy is going to boom. The stock market's going to boom. There's no recession if he gets that done. In fact, the economy grows probably 3 and 4% again next year. So I feel a lot better about where we are today on the trade front. And you and I have sparred on this for a number of months, and I know you're an ardent free trader, which is what I love about you, but I think Trump may get this done, and you may have to rethink your philosophy on this, Dan, if he pulls it off.
Well,
I'm all for results.
Right,
I'm all for results.
What's next? I mean, are there any talks planned with Chinese officials, or what?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, right now it's a waiting period, and my bet is, because look, the markets are so tightly strung right now, and everybody's waiting for the latest word. By the way, if I knew the answer to your question, I'd be a multimillionaire, because everybody wants to know, when is this going to get resolved? When is President Xi going to make that call to President Trump and say, okay, let's make a deal, let's get this done? I don't know the answer to it. I would bet that this goes on, that there's the chess match goes on for another couple of months, because they've got 90 days, the Chinese, to come to an agreement. And if in 90 days they don't have an agreement, then China gets pounded with these 25% tariffs. China can't live with that. I believe, here's my bet, that when we get to close to the 90th day, maybe the 80th day, that's when President Xi folds like a cheap suit, and we get they get a call from Beijing saying, okay, we're ready to make a deal. And, that would come in March or something like that. So, there's going to be a lot of frazzled nerves between now and then, but I do think that's the way this plays out.
How much? How impactful? Since you were with the president with Laffer, did he mention anything about how impactful this arrest of the CFO of Huawei was, and whether that's a significant part of the conversation? I mean, it's really a Canadian legal matter more so than an American one, but we're being held responsible in some respects. Is more being made of that than there really is, or is that something China is demanding America intervene?
You mean the arrest of the executive?
Yeah, right.
Oh, we did not bring that up. I'm told from my sources. I didn't hear this from Larry Kudlow or the president himself, but I'm told he was caught by surprise on this. That this was actually the State Department and Justice Department that arranged this arrest of this woman.
Right.
She's the executive of the second or third largest company in China. But look, these countries are engaged in espionage. They're engaged in stealing our technologies. They are violating the rules with respect to the embargo against Iran, which is a national security threat. I mean, I think what that whole incident should open Americans' eyes about is that China is now an enemy. We're dealing with the Soviet Union here. This is a Cold War, and it's not as if this is a friendly rivalry. It no longer is. I mean, they are adversarial, and Trump believes that. By the way, Trump is, he likes the Chinese people. He likes, he understands the value of getting these products from China at low prices, but he also believes, I think quite correctly, that we are in a new era with China, and this abusive trade relationship, can't continue for another few years, and it's not going to. And by the way, if they don't have a deal in 90 days, Trump was very sincere about this when we talked to him yesterday. He said, I'm going to knock them with these terrorists. So it's not a hollow threat here. I think he's very serious about it.
All right. He is Steve Moore, chief economist for CNN, Wall Street Journal columnist. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay. Have a great day, guys. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Tom Sadeka, President and CEO of Precision Payroll of America. We're the 35-year-old company whose first employee and first client are still working together. We have so many wonderful clients, but with me today is someone very special.
Hi, I'm Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. We are a nonprofit student organization battling the bias and indoctrination in America's high schools and colleges every day. We are on over 1,000 campuses and continue to grow. Precision Payroll has been there since day one and has helped us immensely as we grew to a truly national organization. No one in the business is better than Precision Payroll. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Charlie. What you're doing is so important. To learn more and help, go to tpusa.com. That's tpusa.com.
And for your business, let Precision Payroll make a difference for you. Call Tom at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or online at precisionpayroll.com.
Thank you, Charlie.
Hey, guys. Oh, yeah. It's hard to be perfect, right? Especially when it comes to finding that great Christmas gift for your wife or girlfriend. But this year, you can score a perfect 10 with her, with all the new Perfect 10 pajamas from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts. Because Perfect 10 pajamas are created to be the PJs of her dreams. It feels like silk, only softer, gentle, relaxing touch. She'll love it. And you'll score because every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging, delivery by Christmas guaranteed, lifetime guarantee, so you risk nothing on those Perfect 10 pajamas. So get yours today by going to pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. That's 1-800-GIVE-PJs. And be sure to tell them that Dan and Amy sent you.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
Oh, no colds, no flu, lots of energy, just overall well-being. It's just if I stop taking it, I see the difference. I would never stop with these. I would keep them on hand always.
Well, I got more energy for sure. I don't feel the same if I don't take this every day. I think it's improved my life greatly because I was feeling real sluggish before, sluggish and tired. I had like this brain fog. It's all gone now. I've been taking this stuff and I feel like I have the energy of an 18-year-old with the looks of a 30-year-old, and I'm 50. It's crazy. This stuff is crazy. I love it.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The new year is the perfect time to get organized, and StoreLock has the solution with StoreLock Modular Systems, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. StoreLock makes it easy and simple. It's fully assembled when it ships, so you can get organized fast. Durable StoreLock Modular Systems are built the old-fashioned way, made to order, exactly how you want. Order your custom system just in time for the new year that's powder-coated in-house in any color you want. They're 100% crafted in the USA, feature dividers, liners, and layouts, all made with quality materials, including steel ball bearings and heat-treated steel rollers. StoreLock is so strong that each drawer holds up to 400 pounds. StoreLock fits any home or business and will last a lifetime with its 55-year top-to-bottom warranty. Order today and receive your system in about 4 weeks. Call 1-800-STORELOCK. That's 1-800-STORLOC. And check out StoreLock.com for upcoming events.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
We are getting closer to reaching our goal of helping those less fortunate this holiday season. Our goal is to provide food for a year, water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti. And we have a great program, the Business Benefactor Program, where you make a one-time donation of $2,500. Tax-deductible donation, money goes to Food for the Poor. And as a way of saying thank you, we give you 40, 60-second commercials. Dan, who are our newest members of the Business Benefactor Program?
Advanced Design Studio, Waterleaf Women's Clinic, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, our old friend Garrett.
I miss you, Garrett.
Viking Ski Shop in Chicago and Barrington. Too Secure Incorporated. Okay.
Is that the call to Garrett? Can you do that again, Garrett?
I'm sure he'll come running. The Anglers Outlet, Elevator Consultants, CMT Research Foundation, Harding's Heavy Equipment, Insure With Us, Signature Bank, AmericanEagle.com, Cafe Salsa, and many others. We appreciate your donor leadership.
And the way for you to become a business benefactor is to simply call Ann Jeanette. Her number is 847-472-8951. That's 847-472-8951. It really is the best deal in Chicagoland radio. Nowhere else could you get 40 commercials for $2,500. It's great. And you're helping people less fortunate this holiday season, too, if you become a business benefactor. And Tom Sadeka, he became a business benefactor, and look at where he is today.
Well, and again, remember, one of the features of our audience here, this is not the Eric and Kathy audience. This is not, goofball morning madhouse audience. These are professionals, productive people, entrepreneurs, successful people, people who can do fifth grade math, people who understand.
Hey, you're stepping on my toes here.
People who can, yeah, well, I'm talking about our listeners.
Not all of us can do fifth grade
I'm talking about
math
our listeners.
blindfolded, yes.
People who can engage in a discussion about unfunded pension liabilities. So if you're a business looking for high-end clients, this is the place that you want to advertise.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know who the most hateful people in your neighborhood are? The people with the "hate has no home here" signs in their yards.
I can't stand
at 8:08.
And then later, Kathy Lee Gifford calls it quit. It's a tearful goodbye, Dan, that's going to warm your heart. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Slippery roads during this morning commute in some spots. Man stabbed to death in the South Shore neighborhood, and the mayor wants an increase in the gas tax. Outside, we'll have clouds and a bit of snow and rain. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
It's declared an act of terrorism. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. A shooting at a Christmas market in France. There's a manhunt on for the man who did it. More live from Fox's Simon Owen.
Chris, a prosecutor saying witnesses report hearing the gunman shout Allahu Akbar, God is great in Arabic, as he attacked people last night around one of Europe's most famous Christmas markets in the city of Strasbourg. The prosecutor saying he was armed with a gun and a knife and left 2 people dead, a third brain dead, and 12 people injured. The suspect has been identified as Sharif Chakat, a 29-year-old with a sick police record who'd been flagged as a possible extremist. Chris?
Simon, there's a vote among her own party this evening about whether Theresa May should step down as leader and as British Prime Minister. There's opposition to how she's been handling a breakup with the European Union.
We must and we shall deliver on the referendum vote and seize the opportunities that lie ahead.
She says a change of national leadership now would result in Britain's departure from the EU being delayed or stopped altogether. President Trump's up and tweeting about border security. Fox's John Decker is live at the White House.
A day after a testy meeting with Democratic leaders in the Oval Office, President Trump tweeting, "We are going to strengthen our borders even more. Chuck and Nancy must give us the votes to get additional border security." He continued, the Democrats and President Obama gave Iran $150 billion and got nothing, but they can't give $5 billion for national security and a wall. The president telling both Schumer and Pelosi that he'd be proud to shut down the government to get what he wants. Pelosi telling her caucus behind closed doors it's like a manhood thing for him, as if manhood could ever be associated with him. Chris?
Yeah, John, the president's former attorney Michael Cohen learns his sentence today in New York City for bank and tax fraud, campaign finance violations, and lying to the FBI. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, some light rain showers, even some freezing drizzle crossing the area. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A man is in critical condition at this hour. Struck by a CTA train on the south side. Authorities say the incident happened early this morning near the Red Line station platform at 63rd. No one in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. It happened early this morning in the hallway of an apartment building near 77th and Essex, and investigators tell us they believe the incident is domestic related. A pregnant woman remains in critical condition after being shot in the head in Round Lake. One person of interest was taken into custody. Mayor Rahm Emanuel is set to ask Illinois state lawmakers to legalize marijuana and allow a Chicago casino to help the city address its growing pension crisis. The mayor expected to make that plea during a speech to the city council after yesterday calling for a gas tax increase.
Costs have gone up. Usage has gone up, and the resources to invest have stayed stagnant. That's unsustainable.
Illinois already has one of the highest gas taxes in the nation. Former Evanston police detective is accused of joining the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration so he could protect a dangerous Puerto Rico-based drug gang. Fernando Gomez was arrested yesterday at the DEA's Chicago field office and charged with racketeering conspiracy. Jets double up the Blackhawks in Winnipeg last night, 6-3. White Sox on the move at the winter meetings, adding a right-hander to the starting rotation, acquiring Ivan Nova from the Pirates. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, encouraging signs from trade talks with China could lift stocks today. China has promised to lower tariffs on cars from the U.S. and also says it will buy more soybeans and other crops. China-based music streaming service Tencent Music Entertainment Group is expected to start trading today on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol TME. The launch could be disappointing for those who expected it to turn into a hot new stock. Tencent Music priced the stock at $13 $1 a share, which is at the low end of expectations. Along with its music apps, it also includes an online karaoke service. Verizon admits it will have an additional $4.5 billion expense for its Oath unit, which includes AOL and Yahoo. Verizon's Oath has had a hard time competing with Google, which receives the most money from digital ad spending. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, how would you like to have your mortgage or rent paid for an entire year? Would that qualify as a Christmas miracle? Yeah, well, it could happen if you enter and win our Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, running now through December 20th. But you can only win if you enter. And to do that, go to 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword miracle. That's 560theanswer.com. Keyword miracle to enter for a chance to have your mortgage or rent paid for all of 2019.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
8:07, and a check on your morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In Elgin, 20 is still closed between Shannon Parkway and Long Common due to a major wreck on 20 at Nestler. Eden's, 20 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 34. The Kennedy, 53 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 30 from Montrose, 27 on the Express, outbound 39 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower's, 52 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 45. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan is 36 minutes, 95 to downtown. Tri-State southbound heavy 120 to 176. Northbound Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. It's about Adams Tollway delayed 25 to Higgins. The Reagan Tollway from Fox River to Mill. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
May come across some freezing drizzle this morning, some snow and rain at times too, little or no accumulation. Otherwise, a cloudy day, high 38. Cloudy tonight and tomorrow, low tonight 26. The high tomorrow at 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
While we have clouds at O'Hare, light rain at Midway, drizzle in Lansing, mixed precipitation in Waukegan this morning, and some light rain falling in Wheeling. 36 officially at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know how you tell who the most disagreeable, spiteful people in your neighborhood are? It's easy. They put signs in their yards that say, hate has no home here.
I cannot stand those signs. Of course, I have 3 homes on my block that have that in their front bay window right there.
Tell us about the people in your neighborhood that have the hate has no home sign in their window or their yard. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Your neighborhood, Amy?
Well, one couple, they're cool. They're fine. Another couple that has the hate has no.
They're fine.
I mean, they're not in my face. They respect me. They don't kick down my Republican campaign signs for different candidates. You know, I leave them alone. They leave me alone. In one of those situations.
Sounds like a lovely community.
Well, we're cordial to one another.
Sure.
And then the couple across the street, I can't stand them. He does not understand me at all, and he always stares at me like I'm an alien on election day because now the polling place is at the church across the street. He stares at me like he goes, I don't understand. I'm like, well, let's talk. What don't you understand? He said, why would you support such a monster? He's awful. And I said, because I did. That's my choice. Is this working out for you?
Yeah, right.
Floyd, I mean, look at, is this, oh, wait, shoot, I just said his name. I'm like, is this working out for you? You know, you like your property taxes going through the roof? We had a gun person shoot through our neighbor's bay window. Police didn't even show up because nobody was hit. They didn't even come to take the shell casing. You like that? Does that make you feel safe? And then the conversation's over.
Yeah.
He didn't understand in a primary that you either pull a Republican ballot or a Democratic ballot. And in the general, you could vote for Republicans and Democrats if you want. So I explained that to him, too.
F.H. Buckley, a friend of the show, writing the New York Post about these signs.
Do you have any signs where you live, real quick?
Well, I mean, no, not like
I mean, do
Point
people
Tower.
have them? Well, do people, I don't even know if you can do that, like put a sign on the front door? Like if one of your neighbors has a sign on their front door?
No.
That's
No.
probably against the rules.
Yeah, that person would be ejected from the building immediately.
Does Hayek still bark at that person when they get on the elevator?
Yeah. No, I don't see much of that. No.
Going up?
But because that's not where you see it. You know where you see it? You know where you see those signs? Hinsdale. Right next to their Black Lives Matter sign.
Well, yeah.
This is F.H. Buckley's point. My walks with my dog take me, he's in D.C., to a quiet off-street with middle-class houses made expensive because they're inside the Beltway. Their owners are mostly youngish attorneys who work as assistant deputy director somethings in some government department or other. That's a perfect way to put it.
That's great.
2 of the homes feature no hate here signs. What's up with that, you might wonder? This is a peaceful, upscale, decidedly undiverse neighborhood. The greatest threat to suburban peace is the lone homeowner whose lawn looks a tad overgrown. There's nothing to suggest that anyone is a racist or a bigot, so again, what's going on? And he argues that it's not virtue signaling, it's the other side of that coin, how we should view it. Vice signaling. A couple people on the block are Trump supporters. Those signs are likely meant for them. Those signs on your block are meant for you. There's no interaction between the two groups, and the signs are meant to keep it that way. Vice signaling, writes Buckley, is a defense mechanism meant to displace liberal guilt. There was a moment shortly after the 2016 election when liberals realized that ordinary Americans had turned against them, and they had reason to do so. A lie to the teachers' unions. The liberals had permitted our schools to descend to third world standards. They supported an immigration system that imported economic immobility. They welcomed a regulatory morass that gave elites jobs, but that placed a stumbling block in the path of those who sought to get ahead. Liberals saw all of that, and then they forgot it. Rather than blame themselves, it was much easier to transfer the guilt to conservatives. That's how vice signaling became the language of liberal politics. He writes in conclusion, I can't see inside their hearts, but what I do know is that the people with their no hate signs sow more division than they do comedy. Comity, comedy. What about that? Agree with that? Is that your experience in your neighborhood? Because with all of the virtue/vice signaling suburban Champagne socialists in suburban Cook and the Collars, you got to see those signs. And you have had to run into people similar to those described by F.H. Buckley in his piece in the Post, which, by the way, I tweeted out at Dan Proft if you want to read it.
Is that your Twitter handle?
That is.
How many followers do you have now?
Oh.
No, that Chance the Rapper retweeted you.
Yeah, no, that
I'm sure that elevated your profile, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then those people that started following me because Chance retweeted me actually started reading what I was tweeting, and they're like, well, I'm not following this guy. What the hell is Chance thinking?
Awesome.
William in Kenosha, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Yeah, so my wife's got a cousin who's got one of those signs. And yeah, I think you were asking about the character of the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, they're super nice people. They're welcoming. I would say that they lean, let's say, left, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it myself, but I'd say they're really nice people overall, but they're a little blind to certain things.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Sure, it's not like they're trying to woo you in. It's like Get Out, but for conservatives, not black people. You know the movie Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I love
so
that
they're trying
movie.
to bring you in.
Get out.
And then you can't get out.
Yeah.
You ever think of that, William?
Well, now you're scaring me.
You should be scared in your neighborhood. Harry and Wilmette. Oh, there are signs there.
Yes. I was just going to observe that those signs obviously can only be appreciated by those who know English, and might be interesting to see if you have those signs translated into like Arabic or Spanish. So if you have other diverse groups coming through, they might be able to understand that.
All right. Thanks for the call, Harry. Craig and Carrie, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, we, my wife and I caught a gentleman in our neighborhood yelling obscenities at the house during the presidential election. Turns out he had a tolerance flag flying outside of his house.
Of course he did. Thanks for the call, Craig. The irony is lost on them. By the way, just as a quick aside, another piece, I'll tweet it out, but Sad Radicals, this piece at Quillette.com, which is a good site, by the way, some interesting think pieces there. Connor Barnes is his name, and he's like a reformed, radical leftist. Really good piece about who the radical left seeks to sort of attract, the qualities of these broken people that they attract, and then how that worldview sort of poisons all their relationships with people who disagree with them, because disagreement is, ironically, not to be tolerated. Really, really good. I don't want to get too deep into it because this hate has no home here sign is fun enough, but a good piece you should check out. Brian in Woodridge, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, Brian.
They attract.
Hello.
And then.
Yep, you're on, Brian.
Turn the radio down.
Oh, yeah. Down Julian in Naperville, there's these no hate signs littered all the way down the street from the professors at North Central. And what gets me is I want to take an I love 45 sign and go ask them, put it in their yard, because they hate Trump. They hate the Republicans, and just a pure state of hypocrisy.
Thanks for the call, Brian. And, of course, all the North Central staff, poli-sci department. Megan on the south side.
Hi, guys. Good morning. I just wanted to say in Minneapolis, they have a little bit of different signage. Their lawn signs say love on one side. On the other side, they say all are welcome. But I can guarantee you that's not the case, because if I went up to any of those doors and knocked, I would not be welcome as a conservative.
Thanks for the call,
That's
Megan.
a good point.
Yeah. That empty-headed implication, not the idea of being welcoming to strangers, the idea of that being public policy, a mindless, open borders type welcoming, which is what they're really signaling. How you like what's going on in France again today with this terrorist attack in Strasbourg? Diane in Frankfurt.
Hi, is that me?
Yep, that's you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I heard like a buzz. Yeah, I worked at a college, and the guy from one of the departments decided that those signs needed to be put up on the entrance, and it makes me angry every morning when I pull in and I have to go past that sign because I know what it means. It's not, like you said, it's definitely against the president and everything else, and the woman who created that sign, I think back when it first started, it was all about the immigrants and stuff like that. And I don't understand why it's in Arabic either. Who's going to read that? It doesn't make any sense to me. But
Arabs, apparently. What college, Diane?
It's out in Kankakee.
Oh, Kankakee College. Okay. All right, community college.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Diane. Yeah, at the college, too. Pre-K through post-secondary education. That's the province of the vice signalers. Mike in Munster, Indiana.
Hey, good morning. Along that same vein, are you aware of those bumper stickers that say coexist in every different religion's symbols?
Sure, they come with every purchase of a Subaru Legacy, yes.
Exactly. Right. So all I was doing was parking my car, and I have a nice Trump bumper sticker on there, and a woman saw it evidently, and as she got in her car and drove past, she had some very choice words to say to me over my bumper sticker. For what reason? Just because she wants to coexist with somebody other than me.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike. Yeah. Steve on the south side.
You know, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, it reminds me of a remake of The Untouchables, where Al Capone is sitting on the steps of City Hall after getting out of court. All the lawyers are standing around him, and the real enemy here is the Trump people. They're the rats. We need to get them. And it's like, and then the reporters are like, really? Are you a Trump supporter? They go to the victim and ask him, are you a Trump supporter? You just can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good analogy. Thanks, Steve. Sean from Elmwood Park.
Sean.
Ironically, I was just behind one of those Honda Fits, those cars that look like shoes, and it had that Evolve fish. Now, why do you think they do that? It's that contempt that for the religious people that they take the fish. They don't take Darwin's where the monkey turns into the man. They have to have that condescending contempt
for
God. anyone who doesn't agree with them, and they're making fun of people who believe in Jesus. And it's the same as I drive through these. And, of course, when you pull up next to it, it's the hermaphrodite who couldn't live in the world he demands of evolution, which is my favorite part of it. And it's like when you drive through these towns, Oak Park, River Forest, these are the trust fund tyrants with their Mercedes that they couldn't pay the tax if they had to go to work and pay for it. They inherited the money. So they have that self-loathing undercurrent for their grandfather who knew that he would turn out to be a failure of his family. So they want to strip and control society because they are truly the seed of hate, because they hate anyone who doesn't agree with them. As opposed to us, who I spend my whole day looking for someone who doesn't agree with me. My whole day.
Yeah, that's not difficult to find. Thanks for the call, Sean. Since you brought it up, the contempt for people of faith. Yesterday was Alexander Solzhenitsyn's birthday. It would have been 100. You want to talk about somebody who knows a little something about totalitarianism that all of these bedwetting vice signalers ascribe to, our rather pedestrian politics. I mean, at least in the context of world history and repressive regimes. National Review posted Solzhenitsyn's 1983 address upon receiving the Templeton Prize. The Templeton Prize for Progress in Religion. And this was in London. And just this one sentence from Solzhenitsyn, just something to consider. In 1983, Solzhenitsyn, if I were asked today to formulate as concisely as possible the main cause of the ruinous revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution, that swallowed up some 60 million of our people, I could not put it more accurately than to say, men have forgotten God. That's why all of this happened. Men have forgotten God. That's why all this has happened. Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560. The Answer.
Are you looking for the perfect gift? I hope you'll check out Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. I love these guys. Mike Gallagher here at Roland's. Not only do they care about making America great again, they also care about making your holiday moments memorable. You know, buying jewelry is about trust. Roland's is the go-to place. You're going to see why when you visit RolandsJewelers.com or head to downtown Libertyville to work with them in person. It's no hassle. They'll show you pieces from the top designers, Simon G, with beautiful pendants. The Hearts on Fire diamond earrings are a great choice. Italian designer Roberto Coin's collection is gorgeous. Ken over at Roland's is offering up to $500 for AM 560 The Answer listeners. Not just for jewelry, but luxury timepieces, like the watch I wear from Roland's, Shinola, or Longines, or Tag Heuer. Your choice. Roland's Jewelers makes your gift giving easy. RolandsJewelers.com. Let them help you in store in downtown Libertyville. Roland's Jewelers is a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's actually really been helping my system and my lupus and my gastro problems. So I'm actually very happy with the product.
Acid reflux is pretty much under control. That's why I keep taking it.
I have noticed, you know, I'm sleeping better since I started taking the Balance of Nature and all the other things I'm doing.
I can't believe how wonderful your product is. I listened to you guys on the radio for years and years and years, and I listen to all the testimonials. I go, well, you know, it's probably time to give it a try. And I've been just happy as can be ever since.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, MUELLER, CPA.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, you watched the Today Show ever? Have you ever perused through it and thought, oh,
yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it.
I interviewed Hoda one time.
Oh, you did?
On WLS, yeah. Hoda in studio. Mine was my brush with greatness.
Well, Hoda is not so happy this morning. Her partner
you're
in crime.
You're gonna make us all cry.
Well,
Kathy Lee's tearful.
Kathy Lee Gifford made an announcement yesterday. So Hoda and Kathy Lee, just they host the 4th hour of the Today Show. Okay.
When does Megyn Kelly come on?
I have something to share with everybody, and it's bittersweet, as these things always are. But I've been here almost 11 years. Thought I would stay 1 year. Something happened along the way. Fell in love with a beautiful Egyptian goddess. And now, when it's our 11th anniversary, I'm going to be leaving the Today Show. I know, it's an exciting time for me, and I'm thrilled about all the projects that are coming up. But it's also hard, because the reason I stayed longer than a year is because I love everybody here so much. I've been in this business 120 years and never worked with a more beautiful group of people who just give.
Okay, all right.
So her new project, she's going to focus exclusively on her sweatshops or what?
Stop it. Here's your friend, Coda Hoda.
The minute you stepped into my life with
You complete me.
Everything changed.
Oh.
I thought about it. I knew today was happening, but anyway, I was scribbling in my journal about you, and I was like, thank you. Thank you.
You might just want to leave it there, Jared. It's going to be that kind of day.
I was writing everything down, and I thought about the day that, because you chose me, and that's how it started. And so I was thinking about, everything good that's happened in my life has happened since you came. I was even thinking about everything from, I met Joel because I had to give a speech. Why did I give a speech? Because I worked here, because I worked with you. I wouldn't have been there that day.
All things go back to Kathy
Haley
Lee.
came as a result of
I didn't choose you. My heart chose you. Oh.
But here's the thing.
Wow.
So everybody's crying. The
I'm
stage
so-
hands are crying. The camera operator's crying.
I'm
she's
just-
not leaving until April.
Well, first of all, I'm just glad Frank Gifford is dead, so he didn't have to experience
Oh,
that. He could
too
avoid.
soon.
Too
She's
soon.
very sad.
He died 3 years ago.
But she's still grieving. She's still not dating.
She's grieving over breaking up with Hoda. It has nothing to do with Frank.
Just when I see these things, I have to bring them to your attention, Dan, because I know everybody, there's the self-importance that they attach to their lives, but they're still going to be friends even when the show's over.
It's just they're just such thoughtful, deep people.
Well, they drink wine every day on the air. It's a great gig.
Sure,
I mean,
it's like listening to Browning talking to Longfellow there. I mean, just the prose is so exquisite.
I think we should sing Frank Gifford's favorite song.
What?
The song that Dandy Don sang at the end of every Monday Night Football game.
Let's get ready for some football.
Turn out the lights.
Oh,
the party's over. All good things.
Double entendre.
Must
Frank
come
and
to
Hoda.
an end.
That's the birthday boy singing, by the way, in case you guys missed it. It's Mike Scott's 55th birthday, not his 60th birthday. So we'll
Not
throw
gray
it
enough
into the
for
newsroom.
Not gray enough for 60.
Are you doing anything fun this evening for your birthday?
No.
Why don't you leave him
Tomorrow.
alone?
Tomorrow.
Why don't you go find some real work?
Yeah, exactly. Allison Camerata.
That's a good line. And now you've stumped her, so I'll take it from here. 34 degrees outside. We've had some light rain and freezing drizzle across the area. Nothing too serious, but we'll keep our eyes on it. President Trump is using the deadly shooting in France to again call for a stronger wall on the border with Mexico. The president tweeting this morning, another very bad terror attack in France. 3 were killed, a dozen wounded when the man opened fire near a Christmas market in the French city of Strasbourg.
I heard some shot, 6 or 7 shots, and then I saw 2 people on the ground, and many people, of course, screaming and starting to run.
The suspected shooter is still on the run. 350 officers are on the hunt. British Conservative lawmakers forcing a no-confidence vote in Prime Minister Theresa May for later today, throwing UK politics deeper into crisis and Brexit further into doubt. The U.S. Geological Survey reports a magnitude 4.4 earthquake this morning in Tennessee. The tremor centered around Decatur, about 30 minutes north of Chattanooga. Crews are searching for 3 believed to be trapped inside an abandoned West Virginia coal mine. Verizon cutting its workforce by more than 10,000. The telecom giant says those workers will leave at the end of the month, and then again in March, and then some in June of next year. The workers have accepted buyout offers. A man in critical condition after being struck by a CTA train. It happened near the Red Line station platform at 63rd on the south side. No one in custody following a deadly stabbing in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood. It happened in an apartment building near 77th and Essex. A student at a suburban junior high has been arrested for allegedly posting online in a chat room about a threat to shoot up the school. The DuPage County State's Attorney's Office and Naperville police say the male student attended Washington Junior High, was in court on Tuesday, and then released to his parents. Chicago sports, Jets double up the Blackhawks 6-3 in Winnipeg. White Sox on the move at the winter meetings, adding a right-hander to their starting rotation, acquiring Ivan Nova from the Pirates. The News is a service of Staples. Staples has stress-free holiday shipping and all the supplies you need 7 days a week, so gifts arrive on time. Plus, get 15% off UPS shipping services and shipping supplies. See what's in store this holiday at Staples. Exclusions apply. In-store only. Offer ends 12/29. See associate for details. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager has a simple test to check moral clarity.
This is another exam that I would like to give to help determine a person's thinking. Like, do you support all black dormitories on college campuses? Do you think Israel is the villain in the Middle East? There are some very clarifying conscience and moral compass issues.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And we want to tell you about an opportunity for you to promote your business and to make a difference this Christmas season.
We're talking about our Food for the Poor Business Benefactor Program.
We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year in the Caribbean and Latin America, where it's desperately needed.
And your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor Business Benefactor by making a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor. When you do that, AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air right here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natkowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's Anjanette at 847-472-8951. One more time, 847-472-8951.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. You know, if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Get ready to make Range Day more awesome. Here's the perfect gift for the gun owner on your list, or for yourself, a Hackett Equipment Range backpack. The Hackett Equipment Range backpack comes in 3 styles of Covert quality range backpacks that hold 2 to 4 pistols and carry a lifetime warranty. There's also an attachable rifle bag, tactical shooting glasses, all at affordable prices. You can even join the Hackett Equipment Army with a Hackett Equipment Pocket Pistol t-shirt. Hackett Equipment is a Chicago-based company that shares your values, and they'd like to share a smoking hot discount just for AM 560 listeners. Get 20% off all Hackett Equipment online products for a limited time with promo code AM 560. Plus, all orders over $100 receive free shipping on top of your 20% discount. Make trips to the shooting range easier and more fun by taking everything you need for a day at the range hands-free. Visit gunrangebags.com and see for yourself why Hackett Equipment bags have endless 5-star reviews. Have a blast at the shooting range and save 20% plus free shipping on orders over $100 with promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It's 8:37 and a check on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In Elgin, US 20 remains closed between Long Common and Shannon Parkway due to a major crash, which also has Nestler Road closed, 20 and near South Street. Eden's 20 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 36. Kennedy, hour and 8 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 53 minutes from Montrose, 44 the Express. Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, 40 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan is 38 minutes, 95 to downtown. Northbound Veterans Memorial heavy, I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. Southbound 53 is tight, Palatine to Kirchhoff. Eastbound Reagan Tollway, there's a delay, 31 to 25. Eastbound Adams Tollway, slow, 59 to Barton. It's traffic, I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Skies are clearing across the area right now. We've kicked out that slow-moving rain, snow, freezing drizzle mix. It's out over Lake Michigan, leaving behind a little bit of blue sky right now. We'll top out at 38. Cloudy and 26. Cloudy tomorrow, 40. 36 officially at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retirement Zone Radio and the North Shore Capital Group, empowering you Saturday mornings at 6 a.m.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Are you looking forward to a day in the not-too-distant future where a man kills a woman in a boxing ring or a UFC octagon? Are you looking forward to that?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick text.
Is that what you want to see? You want to see, and or just stand idly by and pay it no mind. You want to see people killing each other in the ring as surrender to identity politics? Because that's how you should view this story being celebrated in the LGBTQ community, at least parts of it. Transgender boxer Pat Manuel wins his pro debut. This 34-year-old transgendered man won a unanimous decision over a super featherweight tomato can named Hugo Aguilar over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that on Sunday.
Pat Manuel was an Olympic female boxer.
Right.
But, maxed out of that sport after achieving the Olympic level, and then went on this journey of transitioning from a man to a woman,
from a woman to a man.
Woman to a man,
Right.
Except that's not possible because it's XX and XY. I hate to break it to everybody, but that's what it is.
But the woman beat the male boxer.
Right. Won a unanimous decision over this tomato can named Hugo Aguilar. And this is being treated like I looked particularly at Outsports.com, which celebrates, gay and transgender athletes and so forth, because I want their perspective on it. There were some boos when the decision was announced, likely from fans who are clueless as to what being transgender means, what Manuel had to go through to get to this point. Manuel said he will fight again, but even if he retired now, he has already blazed a trail and made a difference for trans athletes everywhere. Is that right? You want to see Manuel fight a title holder in his quote unquote weight division? Is that what you want to see? You want to see a 154-pound woman who transitioned to a man fight Conor McGregor in a UFC fight? You want to see that?
That would end quickly.
It would end.
That could end in death.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He would kill her or break multiple bones in her body. Is that what we want to see? And we're just going to abide it in the name of identity politics. Our friend Albert Mohler, writing in his brief, the T in LGBTQ denies the reality of human beings being made as female and male, and that being God's intention, which is revealed even in the chromosomal pattern of human beings at the moment of conception. But we're to deny not only God, but we're to deny science in the name of identity politics. And remember, what a society extols, it begets. So this is being celebrated. You're going to get more of it. There's a social contagion aspect of this, which The Economist took up. Headline story in The Economist, why are so many girls showing up at gender clinics? And this is research that was done by Professor Littman at Brown University that was squelched by Brown University. Not too many academics, although the dean of Harvard Medical School did come to her defense. Just doing research, the scientific method to address this phenomenon. And I've just addressed it. She's trying to address it with the actual supporting evidence. But what a society extols, it begets. You're going to see more of this. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Is that what you want to see? You want to see the elimination of gender distinctions in sport and in every other walk of life. It's very interesting. People, including Ryan T. Anderson, friend of the show, said, people aren't going to go for this. And the constant hope of conservatives, the left is going to cannibalize itself. There's certainly examples of that, but I don't think that's what's happening. I don't think that's what's happening at all.
What do you think's happening?
I think this is a continuation of the cultural sexual revolution that the left has won at every stage. Going back to that "Hate Has No Home Here" sign piece by F.H. Buckley in the Post, he writes, when the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage, there were no great protests from social conservatives. What is curious, however, is how social liberals turned on a dime to take up transgender rights. After their victory, they immediately took up the cause of a vanishingly tiny number of Americans, the better to blame their opponents. In the permanent cultural war against conservatives, there's always one more river to cross. We just want civil unions. Well, no, we don't. Now we got civil unions. Now it's time to redefine marriage. We got the redefinition of marriage. Well, now it's time to redefine gender out of existence.
My favorite story is one that you brought us about the man who wants to change his age on his birth certificate so that he can, on eHarmony, he can say he's 50 years old as opposed to he was 72 or something, because he feels like a 50-year-old. But why not? If we change birth certificates, change gender on birth certificates, why not be able to change the age? If you feel like you're 50 and you're really 71, why not?
And why are so few conservatives willing to take up this issue?
I don't know.
What the left understands, what the vice signals understand. People are cowards. They don't want public confrontation. They're not paying attention. They think if it doesn't immediately impact me right now, it never will. Oh, really? How about your Boy Scout troop? How about your Girl Scout troop?
It's Scouts.
Well, I'll get to that. But how about your track team? How about your bicycling, your bicycle races? How about...
Oh, it's already affected the American cycling team and the Canadian cycling team.
That's my point. How about boxing? How about just this notion of chivalry in a civilized society? That's gone. Does any of that matter? No, as long as it doesn't affect me. Okay. This is an example of the cannibalization going on, but it'll get worked out because where are conservatives? The Boy Scouts won't stand up to this. So where are conservatives? This story, Washington Post, Boy Scout volunteer from a Methodist church in Virginia inviting young men and women to an upcoming information session, part of the Boy Scout, the Scouts, right, part of a nationwide recruiting push as the Scouts prepare to include older girls for the first time in February. Oh, this is alarming to the Girl Scouts because they're competing for girls. The Scouts and the Girl Scouts are competing for girls. Catherine Benison, Director of Membership for the Girl Scout Council in D.C., was alarmed at this recruitment effort by the formerly named Boy Scouts. Would parents think the event was affiliated with the Girl Scouts? Would they assume the two groups had merged? Last month, the Girl Scouts filed a lawsuit against the Boy Scouts for allegedly infringing on its trademark, sowing confusion, and creating unfair competition. Mm-hmm. The left pushed the Boy Scouts to eliminate the boy from Boy Scouts.
Right. And they wanted girls to be on Boy Scouts, and now girls are fighting to get girls on Girl Scouts.
And now Girl Scouts are suing the Scouts. It's all very confusing.
Everyone should just go back to being a brownie, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we're going to eliminate
Indian princess or something?
Oh, that's what I was, but now that's not politically correct. Can't say Indian princess.
I just said it, though.
Shame on you, Dan.
Yeah.
But no, it's true. In our politically correct society, that was the best because you would go hunting, you'd set up a tent, you'd camp out. It was fun. And now it can't be Indian princesses anymore.
I mean, the story...
I don't even know what it's called. Father-daughter day or something.
The story from a couple of weeks ago in the New York Times, the woman who's celebrating, well, the man celebrating his new vagina that was coming online. Okay. Hey, hey, New York Times op-ed.
You know how painful it is to get one of those bad boys?
Well,
you really think your life's going to be easier as a woman? Let me cue you in on something. It's probably more complicated.
He conceded the point in his op-ed said this is going to be a life of pain and suffering and so forth. Yeah. But we're going to do it anyway because it's what I want, and that's what we do now, including enlisting and compromising the medical profession with respect to, the Hippocratic Oath, first doing no harm. But hey, if I want to die because I'm depressed, then you kill me. If I want to change, delude myself into thinking I'm changing my gender because I'm depressed, then you do it. You mutilate me because I said so. And we'll continue to celebrate it. San Francisco.
Oh, boy.
Compton's Transgender Cultural District in San Francisco. The first legally recognized transgender district in the world. How long before it comes to Chicago? Jason in Berwyn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
You're on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi there. Yeah, I just wanted to say, as far as the left eating the left, the interesting conflict that's going to happen is when you have a man transition to a woman and then beating women at sports who were born women.
Right.
There's, both sides are going to be up in arms because they're from the same community, but now women's rights are being infringed upon.
That's right. Thanks for the call, Jason. Well, that's right, and there are many examples of that. The other thing is, you have some feminists that don't particularly feel that, newly minted women, in quotation marks, taking up the feminist mantle have legitimacy, because they're not women. I'm talking about just on the left in terms of this discussion of the left cannibalizing left. But again, what does the left do? They work it out because they're more focused on hating conservatives, vice signaling, than they are about their internal contradictions or, frankly, sowing the seeds of their own destruction. You have parents that are willing to destroy sports for their girls, sacrifice it on the altar of identity politics and vice signaling. Carl in Minnesota.
Yeah, well, if the original guy that did the age thing and wants to be younger, he's doing that on Tinder. That's a hookup site.
Yeah, that's right.
Well. Okay, but where I'm at, I'm 53, but I want to identify as, because I feel like an 88-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can file for Social Security, and I'll be past that age limit where I can earn as much money as I want. That way I can collect the entitlement program, still work. Win-win.
Thanks for the call, Carl. Greg in Woodstock.
Yeah, how's it going? The death of truth is what I call all this, and it's directly applicable to the quote you made by Solzhenitsyn about how the reason for the calamities, we forgot God.
Yeah.
And we're becoming God in our own image.
Thanks for the call, Greg. By the way, on the changing your age.
Yeah.
Change your age, you become a legal pedophile, right?
Oh.
And who's to stop you? I'm living my truth. I'm a 60-year-old man who identifies as a 17-year-old boy, 16-year-old boy. Why not?
Might be a little creepy.
Oh, you think? Which part of this isn't? Linda in Glen Ellen.
Yeah, hi, Dan and Amy. Love your show.
Thank you.
As I told your call screener, I've got a daughter who does track. I've tried to speak at our board meetings in Glen Ellen, and it's not just about the transgender men coming against our women. It's the women that are actually trying to transition into men that are taking these testosterone, and they're also beating our women. So it's a pretty tough position right now to try to tell your daughter to just keep pushing through and doing your best when she may be competing against men.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Linda. And how about in the ring? I mean, it's going to such a dark place, really. And, for the most part, people will do the same thing. This is what I think is going to happen. Sorry, I don't share Ryan T. Anderson's optimism. I've seen too much of this for 50 years. What are most people going to do? Roll over.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt it the first month. I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Did you know your employees are the biggest threat to your network and data integrity? And no, they're not trying to destroy your business. There's just so many traps and scams in the digital world that they may not even know they're being tricked. Are your employees aware of the term phishing? Phishing is a form of fraud where an attacker disguises themselves as a reputable person in an email or online message to distribute malicious links or attachments that could steal your company